We did that after I talked about the. Oh, hi, we am live.
Yeah, we went in live. We were already up against. When you started your story, we were already up against it. So go ahead and finish your story. So right as you said, you were left alone in the freezing room, and your lights went off. Your lights went off.
Went off.
All right, so guys, we were chatting just now about some crappy times we've been left in waiting rooms or in exam rooms at doctors' offices, and like
the live stream, babe, can you, since the router's right behind you, can you please reset it?
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, did the Wi-Fi cut out for him?
Yeah,
it did.
Yeah, I need to reset the router.
It's that, or I sacrifice a goat, and we're out of goats.
Need more goats seems to be a problem. So the irony being that he literally said that he was in the room long enough that the automatic lights went off, and then their power literally just flashed, and his screen went black for a second. I'm like, what just happened? You could not have coordinated it better. So now we have to reset the router real quick. So
yeah.
Hold on for a second, guys. Technical issue.
You can make me disappear for a moment or something.
Fine, I'll make him disappear for a minute. Just wave when you come back. Hi, guys. Shut up, computer. Keeps giving me all these things since updates happened. So, guys, this was an episode. And obviously, before we get into it, obviously, no spoilers. Don't jump ahead. We're going to go through this chronologically. Originally, we were just going to try to hit bullet points for this episode because it was mostly a battle episode. But instead, I literally went through and made all the notes. So for the most part, I'm going to talk this time, unlike him. Like he's been doing the main chunk of the notes and stuff. I'm going back to being in charge this week, goddammit. So it is what it is. Hold on. I got to click away this little thingy down here that annoys the crap out of me. All right. So, of course, guys, if you are new to the streams, go ahead and hit that like button. Let YouTube know that we're doing a good job over here. We're getting more and more views and generally speaking, more and more people watching every single week. And make sure you go subscribe to the Rodimus. I keep forgetting to link his channel in the description, but you guys should be able to find it. Rodimus 13. There's two of them. Make sure you click the correct one. Don't know who the other one is, but don't check him out. Good morning. Technical difficulty. Q Jillian K. Yes. So I see Valorans, Gregory Zerkov, Rumtrez Beauregard. What up? Adam Knight. Hello. I saw a Jerry and I saw a Hida. What's up, guys? Obviously, if you're watching, say hi in the chat. And, you know, definitely make sure you say hi in the chat because you're dorks. You guys do that. Also, we may have set a new record for pictures. I'm not sure. We have 72 screenshots. That's a lot. Luis Montoya, hola a todos. Howdy. What's up, guys? Does hola a todos mean hi, everybody? What up? T-Dog Kiad, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hi. Jason Kayer, Doovy Gunpla, what's up? Card 995. I see you. I'm drinking a lovely stout, so I might be fairly well buzzed by the end of this. Okay, he's back. He's back.
I didn't have to reset the router after all. It just came back on its own, which is what
I figured it would. I mean, technically, that was a reset. It reset itself.
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe we have better reception. I don't know.
There you go. I think it's more the lines of hello to all. There you go. That's good. That makes more sense, Jerry. We were talking before you got back. So he's wearing a Double October 4 shirt. I'm wearing a shirt you made, and you're wearing a shirt. Well, technically, you made that shirt, but yeah, it's one of mine. Guys, he's the only person in existence with that shirt. He's the only one who bought that shirt when Trans Am Week was still going on, and no one else, because apparently people don't like kick-ass designs. He's back and he's wearing black. He was wearing black before. Why didn't you put your faces on Hiruto and Riku? Because I don't do that anymore. Guys, it's not the easiest thing in the world to coordinate thumbnail pictures with him. I have to direct him. No, turn the camera a little bit more, angle a little bit, put the light in from this side, and then he sends you a picture. close enough. I'll just cut it and change the angle. If you guys haven't noticed, since the middle of our Origins reviews, I've not added our faces because it started to become a little bit more whatever. Plus, I didn't want it to look like we're at odds with each other, which is what's going on in that scene. Can't believe I missed that t-shirt sale.
We did that.
Hey, if people want me to re-release certain shirts, all you got to do is say something, and I'll put it back up for sale. But that was a 1 week only sale back in the day, and he's the only one who bought one. So, but I do have a cool shirt that everybody needs to go buy, and that's the Devi joke shirt that I created for my thumbnail of the New Age Chimera. So if everybody wants to go see that kick-ass shirt where Devastator is using Reflector to take pictures in the style of the Killing Joke, go buy one because no one has. Okay, so yeah, you need to buy one. Eric says you need to buy one. I need people to stop saying they want one and actually go buy one. Everybody's like, man, that's awesome. I need to get one, and then nobody does. So Arturo J. Riano, I see you. Also, what do they need to go watch on your channel? What did they miss in the last week that they need to go subscribe?
Well, last week we got the Gundam F91 review, which apparently was super popular.
You said that wrong.
Huh?
You said it wrong.
It's F91 Gundam?
No, it's F91. F91.
No.
F91.
F91.
F91. Yeah, I guess people did like that.
And then I also did a What I Got video, which has next to no views. So please go look at that one.
Hey, I know what that's like because I had an In the Kitchen video with almost no video or no views. I also have, guys, there was a ton of content between both channels. If you're not subscribed to the second channel, I don't know what you're doing. We're growing over there. Actually, I noticed you've got some decent numbers lately. You're up to like 224, 225. So you're not that far behind me.
I've gotten a couple more. I know I've seen notifications for a couple more subs and stuff.
Yeah, it's because I told people they could start subscribing to you again. now that I've surpassed you. So the secondary channel is growing nicely. I don't know why. It's fine. I mean, I'm putting up vlogs. I'm putting up action figure reviews. I'm putting up the Taro videos for my Transformers reviews. So I'm trying to link a lot of things back and forth between the two channels to give you a reason to go over there and look. I've got a lot of new Power Rangers Lightning Collection stuff coming up over there, if not already live. New Star Wars Black Series stuff. I've got Ninja Turtle movie figures coming up this week or sometime soon. And I've got new teaser things. I got new tiny robots. And I have a samurai over here made of fire that's coming up this week on the channel. So you guys need to watch things. I found a new Gundam channel called Colony Drop Need Attention. Hey, don't come over here throwing at new channels that need attention. We need attention. That's why we do this. Am I going to try to get the Tri-Age Magnum? No. Of course I'm going to get the Tri-Age. Of course I'm going to get Tri-Age, but only the normal.
I'm thinking about getting the P Bandai version.
I don't like it. I mean, I get that it's like the colors of the actual Age Gundams. I just don't dig it. I don't like the color scheme for it.
I don't know. Something about it I dig, and I'm just thinking about like putting it up there with the Age 1, Age 2, and Age 3 normal. Having all those together, I think would look really cool as a display.
Yep. Speaking of which, I need to get more of those HG Age kits from Big Bad Toy Store since they have a bunch of them in stock right now.
Oh, cool. Which ones have they? Well, I guess we can talk about that later.
Why don't you go over there and look on your own time? I don't have to shop for you. I will have another In the Kitchen video coming up this week. I'm also going to be putting up a poll regarding my next builds. So guys, pay attention to my community tab for that. Just got the HG Justice Knight. I love it. It's my new favorite kit. Neat. I'm going to get the Aegis Knight.
Justice Knight was a good build. I reviewed that one on my channel a little while ago. That was actually that was another video that got insanely popular, mainly because I think I scooped Zaku Aurelius and the other big guys somehow.
Why is my phone buzzing? Oh.
Wants attention, just like you.
Hold on, wait, hold on. It fell the wrong way. Anyway, Tri-Age is from the Tri-Age card game, not from Age. It's confusing. Well, why would it be from Age? The custom he made.
Well, the original Tri-Age is from a card video game arcade thing.
Okay.
That's why that's why the thing has a little card holding hand. Because the P Bandai version actually has a sticker where it looks like the back of the little cards that you can swipe in the arcade machine.
Yeah.
I've seen Dragon Ball Heroes, and there's a couple of Kamen Rider things have stuff like that.
No, I've seen those. Here's a fact: there's more P Bandai kits coming out than regular kits. That is nothing new. Go back to like 2018, where there was legitimately like 115 P Bandai releases that year. And a lot of them were just re-releases. And hey, that's the same thing this year. If you guys have missed some P Bandai releases in the past, especially MG and especially Wing, they're coming back out, and they're coming back out available on the P Bandai America website at a regular price, not the ridiculous P Bandai price. Go sign up and go get them, especially if you want those Banshee Norn kits, MG Banshee Norns that came out years ago. That I paid full price for, and I'm really pissed that they're now available at a much, much cheaper price.
Yeah, P Bandai isn't nearly as big of a barrier to entry as it once was. Now that we have a legit run by Bandai P Bandai store, getting them has been relatively painless. They're still a little bit more expensive, but not by that much.
Barely. Like, you're paying usually because there's more stuff involved. But the ones that are just like a minor remold of a regular kit, they're on par with a regular kit. Some of them are like $15.
Yeah.
So like the Daughters is like $15, I think, something like that. Where it's like 25, 30 on other websites. The Barbatos add-on pack, like everything for the MG Barbatos, that's only $35. It's like 70 in other places, 70, $80 other places. So it is what it is. I did reorganize my backlog shelves today, just because if the choice of the audience goes that direction, I will have cleared out a large chunk in one shot. MG Red. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. When you're pre-ordering P Bandai stuff, get on it quick because it will sell out fairly fast, and then you have to buy it you have to buy it from other places, like I had to do with the Plutone. But Plutone at most places is shown to be coming out in November, right? On BBTS, it shows September.
Ooh, so you're hoping it will be in time for that event that happens every October?
I'm hoping that it will come in time for Double October, because that will be a Double October miracle. I don't care if the last kit of the season. It will happen. So let's see. Oh, and the higher levels constant spam of attacks. Okay, so he's talking about the Battle Gundam game and things like that. Okay, guys. Focus. Focus. But anyway, go subscribe to him. Subscribe here if you're new to the channel. My subscriber numbers go up constantly, so it's not really a big deal. Go subscribe to the secondary channel because I want that one monetized by the end of the year. Go do it, guys. Also, my computer is at normal height because last week I said I couldn't find my riser for my computer. Guess where it was?
Was it underneath your computer?
It was directly behind my computer. So, no joke. I'm sitting here like, where is that thing? Literally looking on the floor, everything. So I go to put something away the next day, and it's sitting directly behind the computer. So it's literally just in that blind spot. So yes, I suspect BBTS has an overly optimistic opinion on release dates. Sometimes.
Usually they're actually like, no, it's not. We're not going to get it until like 5 months after it's supposed to be released.
Well, what I hate about it is like, well, this year's been screwy. So like, if some people are saying November, I feel like that's the offset release date, and September was the initial release date. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm going to say overly optimistic is a good thing. But if I've ever pre-ordered things from Gundam Planet, when they come out, it's usually the end of the month that it's pre-order or destined for. Yeah. Where usually at BBTS, it tends to be beginning of the month that it's destined for. So if it ships at all in September, I'll be happy. Just one thing I can't possibly plan on. But I'm working on the Double October lineup. I'm working on it. I'm scraping the bottom of any barrel I can find to have some Double O content for that month. So we'll see. But guys, let's get started. This is a hell of an episode. I got to get my notes over here. And like I said earlier, I'm going to be mostly running this tonight. He's going to pick up near the end where I didn't finish the notes because I did it for already 2.5 hours. It takes a long time. That's not.
I'm surprised I got all my notes done. I was busy like from the start of the day until I start taking notes.
Our day didn't start till about 10 after breakfast, and then started doing some cleaning. Got derailed by unboxing art for about an hour and a half, and then back to cleaning, and then finally starting my notes at almost 5. Nearest makes no difference. 5 o'clock. So we're up to 28 people watching already. See, we just got to wait 15 minutes into the stream to gain people. My Omega came about 1 or 2 months late. That's weird. Mine came in right on time. It happens. If you have things pre-ordered, if you actually have them pre-ordered at BBTS, they come in pretty quick. But I think Omega was delayed anyways. So it is what it is. That was in the midst of Hasbro redoing a lot of contracts from what I know. Anyways, I got to hit the screen share button. I keep clicking away without going over to the screen share. Screen share.
There we go.
The episode starts out underwater in a bubble. It looks like an underwater bubble, but I assume it's like a moon colony or some type of surface colony.
It reminds me of like there's a party scene in Gundam 00. And I swear it looks like that. At least the gold floor and stuff like that makes me think of it.
In a way, it does look a lot like that. That's from season 1 of 00 when they cut out that little floating ring part that's on. They don't really have colonies in 00, but they have the orbital ring that kind of functions as a colony. But yeah, you're right. It's very similar to that. But I like how it actually has what I assume is side 7 there in a holographic form. And there's no real note of who's. I'm guessing this is the kind of base area or what's the word I'm looking for?
Nest.
I think this is the nest of the Lotus group, if I had to guess.
That makes sense.
No fish and bubbles. Yes, I know it's not actually underwater. It's a joke. Presumably, this is actually probably on the surface of the Lavian crab, because like the back half of that is not metal, right? I think it's made of.
I think it's supposed to be metal, but I don't know.
I don't know. It's somewhere, and they're having a meeting, and they're talking. And then it actually opens up with Maggie exclaiming that so many people have joined in. It really reminds him of the coalition battle from back in the day, which totally makes sense. And then we see, well, basically all the big teams that we remember from Series 1 are here. We get Rommel's team.
Yep.
Good old Rommel, which we've all been wanting to see forever. It's awesome. McGee, are they helping us with our rehearsals? Like, they're talking to... I believe he's talking to Cosme for this, for the most part. Or Cosme's asking all the questions. And then we get the Ogre Squad, which I don't actually remember their team name. I just know it's Ogre's team. So we get Doji, good old fucking Doji, who doesn't look any different.
Nope.
I don't remember the chick's name. I just know she's on the team. And then you get the other people somewhat involved.
Oh, yeah, that's right. One of them was the one that piloted the black rig Shoku. And I was like, that's such a weird deep cut. Where the heck did they get that?
Everywhere.
Yeah.
And then from there, we actually see. Oh, well, I guess I skipped the part where it says Shariar and Tiger Wolf.
Yep.
I did the thing where I didn't put the picture. But we skipped to our Patrick cameo for the episode, and it's clearly 2 separate teams. But what's interesting here is we see the 2 kind of protagonists from that manga.
From Gundam. That's Bill Diver's Break, right? Or something?
Yeah, whatever that's called. Yeah. So the pilot of the GL or the GLs and the Shining Break. So that's interesting that they're actually bringing in side story characters into the main story for at least one episode. I have no idea who the tall guy with the pink floof is, though.
I'm wondering because those 3 that are on the other side have very specific looking character designs. I'm wondering if they're also from some spin-off manga that we're not familiar with. Maybe they're from the Raise one or whatever it's called, the one with the
it could be
the other.
I have no idea. I haven't read that.
Neither have I.
But what I find interesting about this one, it's Patrick too. Now I assume that they are from those other series, given that they have them both on the screen at the same time. But we won't know for a while. Hayaki or Haki, that's the Ogre's team. Team Fast. Hayaku is run. Okay, either way.
Onward.
But I thought that was interesting that we see this in the ways. Because I don't think I got the picture. Let me see. Did I get the picture? I did get the picture. Okay, so
there it is.
I had to type that in order. So you see Tiger Wolf and Shariar talking, as they always do. It's cool that they are friends. And Par sees Shariar from across the way, and he looks over at him and kind of gives him a wink and tells him to shush. So I guess they kind of need to keep their relation a secret for whatever reason. I guess for the obvious fact that they're on opposite sides of the force here. Even though, he already told them. Yeah, he told him his name, I'm pretty sure, when they met in person. So he knows he's part of the Arja family. So it's whether or not anybody knows Shariar's in any, wait, they have colonies in 00. Hallelujah blows one up. Oh, yeah, but that's a slightly different thing. That's more like a research facility or whatever. The one where the super soldiers are. I mean, there are colonies, but not the same way the UC has colonies.
Yeah, they tend to focus more on the stuff that's on the.
A lot of them tend to be like Lagrange satellite point situations, which is what the colonies are, but like usually attached to like a meteor or something like that. Or
they're kind of a different animal in 00, if I remember correctly.
This guy says the big guy that Patrick's hand was shaking hands with is a girl IRL. Tall guy is also from the manga break. Okay. Makes sense that they would be like on opposition in the manga and that. And spoilers for later on, the guys from, that we see, they talk about, so this is what it's like in GBN. I mean, I don't know anything about that manga, but they're like, this is what GBN is like. Like they don't exist out.
Technically, they've been in GBN before because they were in, like, I think the first. Yeah, because they were in the first coalition battle. We hear them say something to each other, like just one line, and then that was it. So This is like the first time we actually see the divers themselves.
Yeah, that's true. Though I don't think we saw the GL, so we only saw the Shining Break, and this is the other color schemes, I think. Or no, they only have 2 color schemes. That's right. I don't know why I keep thinking there's 3. I don't know. I've been drinking. But anyway, Team Avalon walks up, which is cool. So we got the champ and then everybody else. Even though they said their names like several times in the episode, I didn't write it down.
I can't remember their names. I just call him champ and the other 2.
I think it was Amelia and somebody will say it in the chat. It's fine.
Bob.
It's not Bob. I know it's not Bob. I think it starts with a T, to be totally honest. And basically, he's talking to Hiroto and everybody else is like, "Oh, Team Avalon," and Hiroto's just like, "Hi guys, Captain,
like, sir,
Karuna." That's right. Thank you. Technically, say GBN is actually a cool experience after all, or something like that. Yeah, Team Zaz. I think it's Zaz. Technically, I think it's Z-A-Z or Z-A-A-Z, not A-Z-Z-A. At least in this one, that's how they say it. Either way, Spear Boy and Gun Girl. That's not
pretty
wrong.
much.
Drill Master. That's a new person. So basically, they're like, "Hey, boss," he's like, and essentially what they allude to here is that Hiroto just AFK'd, just disappeared. Like since the battle, I believe he had just been gone. Didn't say anything to him. Hasn't come back to visit. Hasn't even communicated with them at all since seemingly in 2 years. So he basically kind of calls him out on it, not in a mean way. You want to pick on him, and they're like, basically it's like, look, man, you could have just called us at any time, hit us up, drop by, say hi, whatever. Because he's still technically a part of Team Avalon. They liked him. Obviously, him and Karuna had a few chats at least, and he knew something was up. He's like, man, look, if you need time off, go do what you got to do. So they're still caring people, you know. Also,
Yeah.
I love how the higher end characters from the first series haven't changed at all. Like, period. Like their clothing, their characters, nothing. So
If anything, these guys actually have taken a step back because they had switched over to the special services uniform, and now they're back to normal.
But that was only for that battle. It was literally only for that battle. Because
why for that battle? It looks so much better than this one.
I think it's because they were taking a stand of being on the side they were on of that thing. He still calls him captain. Yeah. Doesn't address him as champion, just captain. Here to left to go get some digital milk and a pack of smokes. But yes, he still shows respect. He bows to him and whatnot. So he's a good boy. But they're all very forgiving. Now, people were bringing up in the chat last week, and I think in comments on Discord, talking about how Shido and his sister both have purple eyes, and are wondering if that has something to do with Alice and the ability to be taken over or using brake decals. I'm going to say no, because the champ has purple eyes and Maggie has purple eyes. So I think it's literally just people have purple eyes in this world. Like, is it a coincidence that the person has purple eyes who got taken over by a thing that turns people's eyes purple? No, or pink mostly. But
I think if they were going to do something like that, they would have done some sort of focus on a character's eyes.
Changing. I think the idea is they were going for a white knight look, is what Androius is kind of saying. That's why they had the lighter colored uniforms. The special forces, even though the special forces are pure white, not super light blue and purple. But it is what it is. Okay, I got to slow down on that. It's really kicking in right now. Oops, that's the wrong. There we go. That's my notes. But I just wanted to bring that up, the idea that purple eyes are a thing. But then they show up.
Dun dun dun.
They. What just?
What'd you do?
It shrunk. It's like I didn't double. I guess I double clicked it. So the divers, the build divers show up. I'm gonna say it that way from now on, because they're the big eyes, so they're the build divers instead of the build divers. Hold on, that's what it is. Build divers instead of the build divers. And so we get to see everybody up close on their redesigns. We got Sarah, who's only a little bit with her shawl, and now some new pets.
Also, I think her hair is tied back and up.
Back with the thing. Yep, you're right. To be fair, when Maggie's on screen, I'm not looking at his eyes. Shut up, Jerry. Koichi looks the same, although seems like super frumpy now instead of where he was fairly well confident before. Maybe it's just playing with his kid. Yeah, she's got a ponytail. Yeah, her hair's not big and open. I had his name until I needed to say it. Yuki. Yuki looks mostly the same, but definitely upgrades to his outfit. He still has a big floopy hat and glasses. I get that he wears glasses in real life, but why would he wear glasses in GBN if he could help it? I mean, same thing for Koichi. They both wear glasses in GBN and other. I wonder if it actually improves their vision. Like +2 visual acuity.
That'd be funny.
IMA looks mostly the same. I think there's some slight changes to her outfit, like very slight. The sleeves, I don't know why. For some reason the sleeves are. I thought it was smart. I would have actually, got some.
I was looking at a picture of her earlier because I couldn't remember her name to save my life, and so I looked at her wiki page.
IMA.
I did a search for like Ninja Girl Build Divers. Oh, IMA. That's who I'm. And her outfit appears to be identical. Okay. It's possible that maybe she's taller or something like that. Like maybe her proportions are a little bit different.
Well, she's older, and I feel like we've already seen older characters aren't changing their avatars, so it makes sense.
She's the same age as Yuki and them, I thought, wasn't she?
Yeah, she's older, not by a lot, but she's older. Like because Yuki and them were 12. 13.
Oh, that's right. They were like middle school. She was high school.
She's like high school age. So, and then Momo is Momo. I don't know why in this one episode that she has been in, she annoyed the hell out of me the whole time. I don't know why. Like, she's very grating. She's like way too
Happy,
bubbly.
joyful.
Wait, and I remember her being somewhat like that originally, but a little bit more boyish. Like, she was never worried about looking cute, so to speak, in my mind. Maybe I'm just not remembering well. Also, she's changed from being a cat to what I think is a panda because she's going with a black and white motif,
Yeah.
round ears, and more like panda claws, which is fine. I like the change in the upgrade. Her hair is ridiculous now. At this point in time, she's 18. Who? IMA?
Probably IMA.
Don't play the pronoun game, Jerry. Tell me which one you mean when you say she. There's a few on the screen right now. Either way, they walk up minus a Riku. Also, I love it just in the background we see other people with just different uniforms from different series.
Trying to figure out what the yellow one is from on the left-hand side next to Sarah.
No clue. It's weird looking. Have no clue what that one is, to be totally honest.
Trying to look like Scorpion from Mortal Kombat or something.
Something. That's. I mean, you're asking the wrong person. But I love the fact. So May actually steps forward to greet Sarah, which is pretty cool. It's like, "Hello, Nissan," and then "Hi, Molly," or actually she says Mole. So she still has the original pet that she bought. Now she has more of them.
And they reproduce, it looks like.
I don't think they reproduced, or she just bought more of them. Did I get a picture of it? Yeah, I did get a picture of it. I mean, it's possible they reproduce, but why do the other ones have little ram horns? Actually, they just look like sheep in general, so that's interesting.
With little wing ear things, maybe. It's weird. She
Yeah.
has a collection of little fluffy things, and nobody addresses it other than to say hi to one of them, unless you refer to the collective by a single name or something.
Well, the yellow one was Molly from that series. Yeah. Molly is definitely a female name, but now she has another one that is 100% trying to show that it's female by being pink and having a bow on its ears. So yeah. Molly technically a male carbuncle, I think is what they called it. Vegan designs. Is it what it is? Now, you know what? I thought that was a vegan design, to be totally honest, because I knew vegan suits were weird. The guy in the yellow, looked like Scorpion. Okay. I thought that was a vegan design. They're very regal and weird and Martian and shit. It's good to see another person who shares my vehemence for pronouns. Well, if you watch CinemaSins, the pronoun game. Sarah's become a crazy cat lady. Yep. Molly is Tweety, male in disguise. Hey, it's always been a mystery what gender Tweety always is. It's still discussed because sometimes he's actually referred to as a he, sometimes not. It's weird. Unless we're saying that there's multiple Tweeties over the generation. They're just being replaced, man. You just need another canary for the mine shaft. But as that's all going down, we get Riku walking up, talking to Ogre about the reason they're late. Because he's like, dude, like, you're going a bit hard out there. It's like, we're going to be late. It's like, we're supposed to take it easy today. So I love the fact that these two are still getting along and they're still just going out there and knocking out a few just to get stronger, just to get better. Because Ogre is one of my favorite characters from the first series.
When I saw these two walk in arguing like this, my first thought is like they're coming in like some sort of bickering married couple or something. And that thought just amused me too much.
and Ogre is still in that same mindset, like, feed me more, give me more from the battle, let me taste your battle or whatever he says. It's weird. He's still a strange character. I want to know this guy in real life. Like, he's so weird. I like him. I love his suits, but he's freaking weird. But I love the fact he's still talking to the kid he's watched grow up over the last couple of years. He's like, come on, man. You got to do it a little bit more. I still want better taste of it. It's like, it's like Ogre hasn't changed. Yeah, he hasn't changed at all. He became a battle-hungry tsundere. No. Just no, Drill Master. Riku looks more like a protagonist than someone else's series. Well, I mean,
yeah,
he does. And just like, hey, I wonder if that guy is also a protagonist. You just look around the room. Oh, all of you are fodder. And you're like, you're definitely a protagonist. Basically, the blue and red Oni, I guess, in theory.
Well,
But
his brother Goji is the
Goji's the blue Oni hero. Especially now. Spoilers. But then I skipped over this. Hold on. Oh, go to the intro.
Yeah. Intro time.
Intro. But I wrote the Build Divers meets the Build Divers. And yeah. So yeah. So I did write down something here as a side thought. I'm hoping that one day we'll get an explanation as to why Build Divers was the initial name in the story mission login.
Near as I can figure, we know that Freddy was looking for the Build Divers because he saw them in all the screens that popped up. So he was calling out for the Build Divers, and I guess maybe the computer recognized that.
Maybe. Unless something that comes up later has more to do with it. So, intro time.
Intro time.
Intro. So, this episode, we actually get a full intro, but we get zero outro. I actually like that they roll through the closing credits. Yeah. I think it was Eve's spirit. That makes no sense. I think they weren't the first ones there. Anyway, so the mission starts, and we actually see everyone out there with Lovey and Crab, which I find so funny. It's like
I saw the Gamma Gundam.
Huh?
I saw the Gamma Gundam amongst the shots.
I'm getting there. Like the shot. So we get the Gamma Gundam to is it Rick Diaz? To Char's Rick Diaz. And then we get some weird crabby looking things, especially one that's a Gundam face in the middle of a crab, which is interesting. We get something that looks like a custom crossbones down in the bottom corner over here.
Yeah, I think that's one of the crossbones from like the later parts of the manga where he gets like they do like some super robot stuff with them. Speaking of crossbone, there's the thing on the other side.
This thing?
Yeah, that's from Crossbone as well.
Yeah. Get your P Bandai now. This kit is coming. I don't know about this one, but that one for sure. Gamma Gundam is coming again, I think. If you didn't get it the first time, it's probably still available. I don't think this Rick Diaz has come out yet. And then we get Rommel, awesome suit, minus the helicopter backpack, I believe, which I guess wouldn't work very well in space. Just a thing. Detail that we have that all four have a face in the 5 areas. Ghost Gundam, is that what it is?
Oh, okay. I think I know what they're talking. I've recognized that name. I think.
Yeah. Cosme says they're builders, and Freddy asks something along the lines of build divers. Yeah, but they had to log in as build divers to get there. Remember,
well, it's like the build divers login was like the default name.
It was sitting there, yeah. When they went to go log in, accept the mission or whatever, it said build divers. You need a force name to go in. It's like build divers was already there, which was like the moment. And then he changed the I so it would be different. The details that all 4 have to face the in 5 areas. I don't know what you're saying, Gregory. Wait, you skipped over that. I don't know what did I skip? Oh, yeah, they went over the description of what they got to have. I'm not there yet. They're just showing the thing. I didn't skip it. I'm just not there yet. But yeah, so it comes down to they got to take over, or they got to destroy the Lapian crab. It's basically the Lotus Challenge Eldora variant is really what it comes down to. And oops, I did skip a picture. This is annoying. Where is it? Hold on. I got to see if it's in the wrong spot or not. Every now and then it happens. Yep, the picture's not there. I apologize. So I did actually have a picture of the progress screen where it showed that they had 5 sections and then Lavian crab to destroy. And they were talking about, okay, we got to go through this, and we got to get through. You know, all four of us have to make it through. Why? Shut up, Momo. That's why. Which actually I did write that in here. It says, shut up, Momo. But basically, they don't want to say is like, because we're going to actually die if we screw this up. And it said, look, we don't have to launch from the ground, so we'll skip all that. We haven't figured out how we're going to get to space yet. Still big setup for that. Then we get all the other things. Sorry, the one picture lack of setup screwed me up. Sorry. P Bandai everywhere. Yeah, that's fine. No, I understand. I understand. This is what happens when I don't save the picture, but it's in my notes. This happens often. Sorry. Now I scroll down to, oh, good. Now you can go look at the EX Falculander. Yay! We leave it on screen long enough for you to see it. Yes, it looks like Kuadorn. We've covered this. It's not a shock to anyone. But I like that the wings and stuff are a different color, like officially here. And I think, there's different types of plastics even on the figure. So I'm not a fan of the kind of semi-translucent look. So if and when I
remember when we started seeing pictures of it, I commented like, why are the wings a different color? That's so weird looking. Now we know what.
Yep. Fun fact, Mr. Lotus is actually name dropped this time, GBD. Oh, yeah, it's true. The original Build Divers, I didn't even talk about him. Didn't mention his name. They did this time. Lizard Friend. Carlos is here. He says he doesn't have much to say, only this episode was good. Are you sure Hinata didn't do anything this episode? I'm going to be honest, Hinata really didn't do anything this episode. I have comments on Hinata's parts later, but we figured out what was going on through some quick YouTube surgery. So it's fine. They log in and Kuadorn's like, dude, what the fuck? You built a smaller me. I just want to know, other than the fact of going with normal Estrella colors instead of Estrella type F colors, why did they go white if he was going Kuadorn inspired? That's the only thing I don't understand.
Just to do it because apparently he wanted the normal Estrella colors.
I think if I get this kit, I'm just going to straight up paint it black except for the wings.
That could be cool.
I mean, it's even got the blue like nodules and stuff, So, I mean, that's probably what I'll end up doing. Just paint it all black. I'm sure other people have already done it. If you haven't done it, do it. If you are going to do it, show it off.
You see a Falculander and you want to paint it black?
Yeah, and I think this one has the Rex Buster attached. I could be right, or I could be wrong. I don't know. But I like how he's got extra claws on the back legs or
so make
lower wing. Yeah, it's pretty neat. And then he quickly talks about the changes in May's suit as well. Like, hey, look, she's got new armor on. Cool, blue stuff. We don't know what that's for. Just leg things and back things. We don't know. We'll figure it out. I have the kit right over there. If you guys watched last week's In the Kitchen video, you'd know I have that kit now.
You watched my What I Got video. You know I got it too.
See, now they have no reason to watch either. Go watch the video to see what else we got. There we go. That's how and then we go, Mission Start. And then we cut to Hinata practicing, which is pretty neat. So now I'm going to talk about this real quick because it's a thing that I couldn't wrap my head around when we first saw it. So I think it was last week when we saw her shooting. It caught my attention, but this episode it stood out. The bowstring is on the outside of her arm. And I went, you can't shoot a bow that way.
Nope.
Well, not well, at least. You can. It's probably not good. And I was just thinking to myself, well, no wonder she can't hit the target. She's shooting like that. Although, after a quick search, I think you and I probably ended up seeing the same video. So I looked up a bow ceremony that I thought they were doing this one. Different type of ceremony, but same technique, same type of bow. And actually, the way that they're built, the top is supposed to lean forward. That's not just how she's holding it. Very interesting. However, the way that it's going on, I wish I could show this video. So they hold the bow normally to shoot. And then once they loose the arrow, they actually use the force of it moving forward and the spring of it. They loosen their grip a little bit, and then the bow flips around to the outside. Or maybe they give it a little twist. I assume that they're just using the force of the bow to do it. So that's why after shooting, the string is on the outside of her arm, which made no fucking sense until you actually go look up this martial art.
Yeah, because I remember when in my first watch through, I saw that. I was like, why is it like that? And I didn't have time to look it up. I was like, it's got to be some sort of Japanese archery thing because everything else about her movements, her stance, the setup for everything is way too precise and specific for that to be like a mistake or creative license or something like that.
Yeah. Well, see, everybody else was even saying, well, almost everybody else was like, yeah, maybe it's just an animation error. Even I said that. But apparently, Mr. Victor Strang, which I assume is supposed to be strange, says it turns when you fire. It's like, I mean, maybe that type of bow does. I've shot a bow many times in my life. That's never happened. But if you're taught to do that, of course it's going to happen. But it's really strange for somebody's used to shooting a bow normally. And you're like, why is the string over there? So, yeah, it's a thing. Told you it's a difficult martial arts. You told me a thing a week ago that I'm supposed to remember. No, I agree that she's probably not that good. Although, from the video I watched, there's only two ways to count it. You either hit the target or you don't hit the target. You don't have to hit the bullseye. Only in competitions where this is more of a ritual, to set up whatever. Now, assume that this is. Did they cover what the ritual was for in this one? I feel like they did. Or was it last episode?
They do.
It's like fair weather.
They say specific, in the end of this episode, they say specifically what it's about.
I thought so. I couldn't remember which one. I didn't put that in the notes, but I knew at some point they talked what this specific archery ritual was about. Either way, yes, this Kyudo is cool martial arts. I like the bows personally, but like the ceremonial ones are huge. Like I know a normal like longbow is kind of tall. These things are like almost like 7 feet long. Oh. It's ridiculous. I'm like, I want to know what kind of power that would have. I want to see it. Safety at sea, yes. To appease the ocean gods. Too bad they're not doing an underwater challenge. Although I guess they are going up against aquatic flavored Gunpla right now. So maybe safety for all. Everybody's jumping in there. Yes, safety for all in the seas. I guess being an oceanside village, so to speak, that would make a whole lot of sense. Neptune is a god house. That's what I'm saying. They had the like Neptune Gundam or whatever it's called. The Gundam inside the fish.
Mermaid Gundam.
I don't care. It's from G Gundam.
That's literally what it's called.
I know, but it's from G Gundam, therefore I don't care. You're drinking a Sprite.
I just like there's a lot, like 2 lobster versions of that thing.
No, the funny thing is I'm okay with like the crab and lobster ones. Like they're funny looking. I don't know why. It's like I'm okay with how dumb they look. Neptune Sega, yeah, okay. Actually saw a video from American guy who went to Japan because of depression. He started to practice. Yeah, makes sense. I mean, it's relaxing. I like shooting bows. I haven't done it in years, but I enjoyed it as a kid. I got into it in the Scouts. Yeah,
I did archery and Scouts for a little bit too.
I think my original bow from the Scouts is still at my parents' house in a closet somewhere.
I never had my own. It was always one that was from the archery range.
Oh, this is definitely not anything special, but it's still around. Either way, moving on. And then from there, we cut to an Adorbs moment at the hospital because we have to catch up with our good friend Shido, who has been made to teach these children how to gunpla. And I love the fact the first one can't figure out polycaps. The second one is like, these pieces won't stick together. And then the little girl's like, I got this leg done. I like it. So his sister shows up, like, where have you been? She didn't get to say it. She's looking all over for him, thinking he ran away again. And then literally a nurse is like, "Oh, are you his sister?" I'm like, "Yeah." This kid saw his gunpla, grabbed him, and said, "Teach us." And so he is. So he's our new Meijin. Actually, I never considered how much he looks like the third Meijin.
He really does, doesn't he? I didn't think about that. Yeah.
So if there's a Meijin in this universe, it's going to be Shido. Ichi Astray. I don't know why they're talking about Astray all of a sudden for some reason. They're talking about things with a bow. I don't know what they're talking about. Hey, katanas are never mounted correctly for proper. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's like they never have them mounted the right way to draw them properly. They just look cool. Yeah, there's a lot of issues with how certain things draw swords in different universes. Like, how are you supposed to get that out? It's like that makes zero sense, buddy. But I just like this. It's a cute scene, and I love, of course, they're using the real box art. I like how they're basically like real 3D scans of actual boxes just slapped in there. Oh yeah, what are they building, anyways? Definitely,
Two of them have or one is a goof. The other
it looks
is like a burst dom or something.
this is just a straight up dom or a Rick dom. Either way, it's both. The other one looks like a Gundam ground type. It's definitely a Gundam, but it's upside down. So I'm guessing Gundam ground type to go with the goof. I'd guess. That's what it looks like. And Royce made a good point. No, he didn't. Okay. The pod's legs got taken out a couple times in previous seasons. What are they talking about?
Oh, they're wondering. They're probably talking about the extra armor on her knees.
Oh yeah.
Whatever it is.
Her legs got taken out. I don't remember that. I mean, obviously armoring stuff up, fine, but like it's like it looks like she just didn't have time to paint it. You know, it's like why does it just stand out instead of being painted to match? Thought they're building a high gog. Why would you think they're building a high gog? None of those are high gogs. Polycap scene messed me up for a second. Kane was building the high gog and has the same caps. Cool. Who's Kane? Tell us. You just name drop Kane. Who's Kane? The mystery. It's gonna be a new shirt. Who's Kane? Either way, we're back to the battle, and look, they're approaching the first area. So here's at least the layout. First area, that's just people. Second area, more people. Third area, don't go into third area. Fourth area, Fifth area, be on your guard. Boss, are you kidding me? Like, to me, like, I get that they have to destroy the Lavian crab. They have to break down the eye field, blow up the core of the thing, and then it's over. But like to go through everything else that they're going through, it's like that's the boss. Like everything else they have to fight along the way is like, no, these are the bosses over and over. I was like, we don't even get mini bosses. Every one of these is basically a boss along the way.
It's a boss rush mode more than anything, right?
Yeah, pretty much. It's kind of what it turns into. Yeah, Kane, the guy who invented murder. That's not nice. Just because it's true. Jerry, the other issue is the mounting position is opposite drawing position. Flip it to yeah. That actually makes a lot of sense. Usually mount the sword in the opposite position from where you would actually draw the sword from. Yeah, they're always instead of pulling out this way, they're reaching across each other or like an impossible over the shoulder draw, that kind of stuff. That's why Grandpa had it right with the beam. Just straight out, you know. Lindell Rodriguez just got here. You're late, Lindell. I hope you have a good excuse. Where's Ben R? Where's Ben R? Ben R is not here. Is he still taking out the trash? Damn it. We have to wait for Ben R now. We can't complete the episode until Ben R comes.
I think we can complete the episode.
I knew somebody. It's Mega Man's boss brawl battles. Yeah, every boss just shows up back to back. That makes sense. Okay. So we start out real quick. I don't know what happens right after they start, but Doji rushes in against Kazumi, and he has a recolored Ogre GNX. That is now my new favorite fucking thing, and I want this kit, and they damn well better give it to me because I saw October fodder.
I saw that too, and I was like, "Oh, that is awesome!" Because it's the Ogre Jinx in blue, but it also has the tail. He also is using the same staff weapon.
Yeah, so he has the staff weapon and the swords.
And if I remember how they did the tail weapon, they could easily just throw that in.
Yeah, they could. Well, it depends on how it attaches to the, GN drive area. If he still has, like, no pun intended, the hole near the butt where it plugs in, then yeah, that would totally work. I don't want to recolor mine, or I don't want to buy one and try to paint it all blue and add the tail. I just want this kit. Just give me the kit, because the Ogre was one of my favorite builds from that entire series. And if you're giving me some cool blue swords, I'm down. And I like that Doji basically just learned new weapons, but kept his old ones as well. and was given a significantly more powerful suit. But he doesn't get to use Trans Am.
But not to mention, if they make a kit for this, that means another chance for people to get the waist and stuff for the that's the GNX 4 or something, right?
Yeah, the whole waist section is Jinx 4, yeah, and the head. Well, the head is Jinx 4 plus Ogre parts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how I learned the differences that year, was building all this Jinxes. It's like, what makes this a Jinx? The GNX original, the Jinx 3, we never get a 2, or what I guess would be advanced. So it's regular, advanced, 3, so on and so forth. 4, we almost never see, except for the Divers and Fighter series, we never see a 4. Because in that one battle log with the Meijin and the Cherubim Saga, he was fighting up against some GNX 4s. So yeah, there's that. Either way, I was just excited. I was like, that's the Ogre Jinx, and it's blue, and it has a tail. I was giddy sitting in the truck watching this. And then we get hold on, I gotta scroll back down. There we go. May gets attacked by the chick from Team Ogre in her Jeg Doga, which I don't think changed. Hiruto gets pinned down by 2 other members until Par swoops in to snag him with the EX Falculander. But then we see that Yuki doesn't bother to upgrade at all and still has his ridiculous Blastmaster Jagan. It looks exactly the same.
Gets the job done.
I mean, if you just need to shoot everything over there, yeah. I mean, he does take beam spamming to a Kira level, you know. It's literally all the same types plus satellite cannon, you know. Why doesn't anyone know that Hiruto was a member of Team Avalon? I think he just didn't talk about it until he revealed the backstory. They didn't know he was part of Team Avalon.
Because they didn't know about hardly any of his background at all.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't talk about it.
Yep.
It hurt too much.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, there was a GNX too, but it just only appeared ever in the manga or novels. Yep. Oh, goof Jinx. What? I mean, yeah, it's kind of a goof. A blue Ogre Jinx would kind of... Oh, blue Ogre.
Weapon?
Hold on, it's a blue Ogre. It's a blue giant. Ooh, nice crossovers. I want to play with it. Why would he bother to upgrade his new suit? Got Bayverse levels of screen time last season. I know, but I cared so little about it. I sold mine to him.
That's right.
Yeah, you got that whole second half of the season shit from me because I just didn't want them. And it's like, you know what? I'm so out of love with this series. I don't even want to build these. That's what it came down to.
I also you know what? The extraneous shield off of the GM Blastmaster or whatever it was, his first suit.
He did. And there's one thing I wanted to point out now because it's kind of a theme since last week. ReRISE is retroactively making Divers better, and really even now, where we literally combine the 2 series into one episode, it's it made everything better. I think it proved the point that we talked about last week. Yeah, they were stupid kids. They saw through the lenses of being kids who were brand new into GBN, thrust into an impossible situation. Now they've been here for a couple of years. They've grown up a bit, and now they're not only better fighters, in theory, better builders, but we get a little bit more of them, so to speak. Just the tiny bit of character building over the years we have not seen them. But either way, the Jagan does its thing. It shoots at them. And then we cut away to McGee and Sarah on the sidelines. Nice little line there. And then Momo and Koichi do an interesting team up where Momo's like, do it. Hit me with the thing. And he's like, this is not what we're supposed to do this for. And she goes into the ball mode and has him hit her with the hammer. Just weird. And I'm not even going to go into the weird writing in this scene. Taken out of context. It's really strange. Don't.
I want this version of the Momo Kapul, by the way.
I do too. And by the way, I call it the Panda Kapul.
Panda Kapul?
because it is very panda flavored. Like she loved penguins before, so it was made to look like a penguin more or less. Now it looks like a panda, but with webbed
Though with
feet.
it being black and white, it still looks like a penguin to me.
In a way, yeah, you're right. You're right. I think she just flavored in her new color, so to speak. Biggest issue with the Spam Master is that the X system doesn't even match the rest of the suit. Nope. Momokool is going through a phase right now.
It's not a phase.
They're playing golf. I guess it was golf in a way.
I thought it was more of a baseball or tennis thing or cricket.
Yeah.
Cricket? You gotta learn cricket before you can learn cricket.
It's given the Barbatos's original blunt weapon was basically a cricket bat. That's an interesting reference. They went Ninja Storm with the C. Yes. This was very Ninja Storm. You're right, Machine Core 500, whoever you are. They missed out on making the Momokopool an Emperor Penguin. This is true. It should have had a little on top of its head. Like my
That's
little...
Rock Hopper. Emperor Penguin would have had orange on the side of its neck.
Same difference. Actually, I'm thinking of King Penguin from my Ice Cubes. Yeah. Imagine the horns on that thing. Oh. I have no idea. But it's obvious that Koichi hasn't upgraded at all. It's like he's done nothing. He's like, no, I nailed it with this one. I know.
Why upgrade perfection?
Yeah, I pissed off everyone with this design, but it still works. So, but I love the fact that she flies past Hiruto and Par, misses them, fine, and then does this ridiculous hyper belly beam at them.
I love that it's called hyper belly beam. I can't remember if that's what it is, because she had a hyper beam thing before. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I think it was just called the belly beam. So I think the hyper belly beam isn't as focused. This one is very spread out. Like it's not a single direction.
Yeah.
Which they do a lot of beam spamming in this episode. Let's just be honest. Singular weapons making beam spam happen. Slapping satellite cannon on the back of a gunpla is probably the most realistic way of non-pro builder to jack up the firepower. True.
You're not wrong.
But I love the fact that this giant beam attack essentially misses everybody except for Doji. It's Doji right in the back. She's like, come on, really? And she's like, oh, sorry. And I'm looking at the tail. Yeah, it's the same. It's the same kind of tail. It looks like they sharpen the tip of the blade a little bit, but it's mostly the same. I just really want this blue ogre Jinx.
I do too. I just something about that color scheme. The ice blue swords too. It's called the Doji Jinx, by the way. At least that's what the Gundam Wiki says. Because I was curious if there was more. I was curious if there was more info about it, so I looked it up.
Jinx.
Plus, I was looking up Doji's name because I couldn't remember his name either.
For some reason, his name sticks out to me. Why use a giant cannon when you could hit a penguin with a belly laser at your enemies? I mean, who needs a precise attack? But it's clear she went, hey, I'm going to go over there and shoot at them. And he went, why don't you shoot at them from here? It's like, shut up and hit me with the hammer.
Because this way is fun.
To me, Koichi would be like, I'll hit you with the hammer, all right.
I just love the way she, like, so you see her go flying, and then they do the anime, like, stretch and thing, and you can tell that she's speeding up, and then she flips around.
See, Valerians agrees with me. They missed the opportunity to call it the Dojinx. That's what I'm going to call it. If it's a kit, I'm calling it the Dojinx from the minute it comes out. The entire review. It's going to be like the Penelope.
You're
the
just
Dojinx.
Put some tape over the name on the box, write it in what
just literally scribble it in. It's like, no, this is its name. I'm just not going to bother reading the chat right now. Okay, but
moving on.
Yes, but then Par, we see Par just kind of, woo, I'm not getting hit with your beams, stupid girl. And then instead he gets caught by this. And then all the fanboys went squee. Because IMA did something. And I like that she kind of compliments the thing and, hey, we're both SD builders. Unfortunately, we don't actually get to see it like do anything else. Also, didn't this thing have an upgraded version, like the green version?
I think that was more like she does have the green version, but that was more. I want to say that was more power up than.
I didn't know I haven't built that yet. Actually, I still haven't built the original one. It's still right over here. I have to do that sometime soon. I have metallic red. I can build it now. His name should have been Par Mitzvah. Why? He's not Jewish. In theory, he's not Jewish. Is he a man yet? He might not be old enough to have had a bar mitzvah. But like I said, as I said, all you weaves can get happy now. So the two SD Gundams are having a showdown. Or not, because she just quickly runs in and slashes the shit out of him until he explodes. So R was the first failure. Go figure. The guy who was literally their first failure early on happened to be their first failure here. I think that's symbolism. Although it does look like she does have the 3 shields on her backpack, so maybe it is the upgraded version. Is that what it is? IMA was only using 10% of her power. Don't even have to go all out for you. The Shinkenkesho, basically unicorn crystal version. Yeah. Too bad Falculander doesn't have a real mode. No, he doesn't have a real mode, but I mean, there's nothing wrong with the Morgiana mode. And it turns from a dragon to an SD. I mean, what are you going to do? Give it taller legs? No, even better, it has Kuadorn mode now. Why be a real boy when you could be a dragon? I mean, if he needed to convert, I don't think circumcision would be an issue for him. What the hell, Jerry? No. Just no. Either way, mission failed. Oh, yeah, Mandalorian Blue. I kept seeing Mandalorian Blue's name and reference, and I thought people were talking about a color. Dude, we had 44 people watching 2 seconds ago.
Hello, 44 people.
I'm not watching the numbers. Either way, Par explodes, and we go back to the beginning. And we get Hiruto going up against our 2 Impulse buddies from before. What's his name? Flies by, and he's like shooting at him. And then she shoots at him from above, blowing up his rifle. And she basically says, "Ha, you're still using the same crappy dodge pattern." And he's like, "Hey, I was going to drag him along a bit longer before teaching him that lesson."
It's like, it's like, crap, I am using the same dodge patterns.
So what I really like about this, one, it keeps showing their failures over and over, but it's always a specific lesson that they need to learn, which is the whole point of all this. They're like, okay, we need to get better really fast. How do we do that without shadow clones?
Let's fight the best people in GBN.
All at the same time. You know what? It's gotta suck for people in the later levels because they're just sitting around waiting. Like just sitting there watching, like, man, I hope they get to my area soon.
One of them's probably playing Galaga.
I bet 15 of them are playing Galaga or something. But then you get Par and Cosme get pinned down by Team Zaz. Actually, that didn't get in the picture. What the heck just happened there? Ah, dang it. I had that picture and now it's not there. That sucks. So I had the shot there of the 2 guys in the cockpits. So they actually refer to their name back and forth, Zen and Arc. And so we see the Shining Break and the GLs basically flying around them really fast, shooting, keeping them pinned down, which was pretty neat. And that's where they have that conversation back and forth. I hate that I didn't get that picture in there. Once again, it's going too fast. It says GBN is really too interesting, or so interesting. Sorry, it's really tiny.
Oh,
All over. I heard
I know.
something.
I looked away from the screen.
Something fell over. What the heck fell over? Oh, the green a bunch of Power Rangers fell over, which means they were rocking the floor upstairs. I got to find a better way to secure some of these Power Rangers because, like, they stomp around a little bit. Their shelves wiggle and they fall over. So that was the Green Ranger taking a tumble because it looks like, oh wow, that was a heck of a domino effect. Red Ranger fell over, knocking out the rest of the MPRs, who fell over into the Zeos.
You just like screw their feet into the.
I'm almost there, buddy. I'm almost to that point. Actually, I have the Gorilla Tape, so I'm thinking about using the clear Gorilla Tape, but then it's probably going to leave some residue. It was interesting how much screen time they got for the manga characters. Yeah, they even have spoken voices. Like, they gave manga characters an actual voice actor and screen time.
I thought that was super cool, and I don't even read the manga. I was like, oh, that's just a neat addition to this to really flesh out the world and also just give some legitimacy to this side story, which doesn't happen very much in Gundam.
Yeah. Par's run got cut short. Yep. Bob Chen says it was 2 years ago. They still remember his weakness. Eric is listening while doing a raid in WoW. Let's see what here. I mean, I wouldn't complain if they came out with a new HG Estrella. I mean, yeah, sure. But yeah, no, I think it'd be interesting if they're going to give us battle logs for this. Give us some of the manga characters. Already got them on screen. The power wasn't.
Supposedly they have battle logs planned for this.
This is true.
I'm picturing them going sigh, yeah, as they.
Yeah. All the power just fell over and there wasn't an explosion. True. It was loud though. I mean, everybody, you heard it.
Yeah,
but I heard that. So
I was half expecting like ghost sounds or something to come after that.
Here's the funny part. So Zeo Ranger Red, there he goes. I was just watching him. He's legitimately doing the Michael Jackson, like way over, like, just hanging on. So those guys had sticky tack on their feet. So, yep, I get to pick all that up later. My biggest problem is the Green Ranger's Sword of Darkness is probably bent in half now. I wish Seed could do the same for Astray, having Kira meet Low, and the anime would have been dope. Cool. Have any in Space Rangers stuff? Yes, I do. I can't remember previous Gundam series made a side story character appear in the main story before ReRISE. I don't know either. So there was minor references in that final coalition battle. So there's that. But basically what I said here, yeah, they're really trying to sell those kits. So go buy your Shining Break GLs, whatever they called that color scheme. They're pretty neat, actually. The white GLs actually looks pretty neat.
I kind of dig it too, yeah.
I don't really care for the Shining Break, but I might pull it off. If it's remotely somehow 00 related, I might get it. Oh, and then they finally get to the third area. Finally. Which is great. Except that this is what they get to face right off the bat. As like the top dogs and a ferret. Or whatever the heck Shariar technically is. A fox, I guess. And then we go to break. Because Jesus Christ. Like, it's like, we're like, okay, we get to go into battle now. We fought all these other noobs. Even a few of the build divers. We're past all of them. We're even past Baby Ogre and that group. And then whatever happened in level 2. Like, level 2 is just like stuff. We did things. And then they're like, what do we go up against now? 3 of the best, period.
And a thing to remember is that if I'm understanding the description correctly, whenever they die, they go back to the beginning.
Yeah. So
they
here's
have
the
to
thing.
go through everybody again.
Yeah. So this is what I thought about this. They're not starting over where they left off. They are having to do this over and over from the beginning. So a lot of this is what is it called? Tom Cruise movie?
Mission Impossible?
No. It's Groundhog Day. Groundhog Day with aliens. You know what I'm talking about? Edge of Tomorrow.
Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah, so it's Edge of Tomorrow. They died. They got to start over. They got to fight through all the same enemies, but the patterns will change. That's the thing. So, like, the only thing they can't do is predict exactly what the enemy will do because they're all actual people. If this was a setup thing, they could have said, okay, we need these to go exactly like this every time. You learn the patterns, you move on, you get better. It's nuts that they've kept going through this over and over. And I don't even know what attempt this was, or like Dark Souls. Yeah. Live, die, repeat. I wasn't going to say that, but yes. How many hours did they play for? That's a very good question, Bob Chen. No one knows because we get no sense of actual time. But I bet it was a lot. Gundam ReRISE furry counterattack. No. I'm betting Shariar and Par are more like Kitsune, which are foxes. So yes, except they're not Japanese. They're Middle Eastern. They're not Indian. They're Middle Eastern. Royal tycoons. But break time, yes. Meanwhile, back in Cheesecake Land, because that's what we switched to. We get a nice little scene back at home with Hinata and Hiroto's mom, and she made this really spectacular cheesecake, which really made me want cheesecake.
Me too.
And she made a story about how she made this in response to being proposed to by his dad. So this is like a good luck, blessing, well-wishing cheesecake, so to speak.
Prayer of good fortune.
Prayer of good fortune cheesecake. So like, maybe I missed it in the conversation because I was kind of jumping through this. I don't think it was for anything in particular. Like she just kind of made it, or if she made it specifically for Hinata for her thing tomorrow. But she kind of attributes it all, and she also talks about the idea of prayer for things, and Hinata's like, prayer, as if she's never heard that word before, which I guess is possible, but you know,
I mean,
good.
I'm betting it's a translation thing where it's probably prayer is the closest English translation we can get because they're using something that's probably a more Japanese concept that would be foreign to us, basically.
Yeah. Hey guys, in the chat, you guys are all going under the false idea that they made it 30 minutes every time. They did not. They had a 30-minute time limit. But either way, basically, it ends up that they talk about the old man working on his book as usual, but then he actually comes out saying that he's done. So the old dude is literally done with his book. Finally, that's been all I've been worried about this entire series is he going to finish his book? So now we need to go check and see if I'm drawing a blank here.
Tomino?
Finish the new old Gundam series, because it'd be interesting if they tied that together. But I love that he comes out and he's like, "Look, you made it for me. Like you knew I was going to finish today." And she's like, "No, it's pretty much a coincidence."
It's like I just thought I'd make it.
He said Hiroto's dad's name Osamu is a nod to Osamu Tezuka, the god of manga. Interesting.
Oh.
I like how the screen just has legendary subtitle. Yeah, it is funny that she said that the cheesecake was legendary. She's like, why is it legendary? So I could just imagine Hiroto telling the story to her, growing up. I remember the episodes where cheesecake is definitely the best part of the episode because it's cheesecake, and now I want some. Everything is better in Japan, but cheesecake is still cheesecake. One of my sushi places nearby had a matcha cheesecake that I always wanted to try. I never did. It looked really good. And the title of what he's working on is Juicy Bots. Yep. So now we're up to the 12th attempt. And you actually have Kazumi going up against Tiger Wolf, who hits him with a couple hits, and he's like, not bad. And then he kicks him up from below, knocking his shield out of his hands. He's like, wah! And then he goes into his crazy gold attack and wipes him out. He said, but you're open from below. So this is where we start getting all of the weaknesses where everybody gets to learn really quick. Now we're up to the 16th attempt. Rommel versus May. This is actually pretty neat. I like how they kind of go at it, shooting back and forth. She takes a few hits, and then she comes in and they do like a leg lock. He's got his cool scissor leg or blade that comes out. Yeah. And while he's got her locked there, he has all his men shoot at her from above and basically say, you need better
awareness.
Better situational awareness, which is actually pretty true of May. She kind of jumps in without really paying attention to things, unless she's going by Hiroto's plans. This is kind of we need to get through this, figure it out as we go. But having the ability to reset is good because you have the ability to learn without dying. Otherwise, not so much. 20th attempt.
Yeah, we're skipping some now.
Yeah, you're up to the 20th attempt, and we're still back at level 3, and we get Trans Am versus Gundam, brother versus brother, and we get Par literally getting the smackdown.
He beats the snot out of him. Oh my god.
Through an asteroid. Well, he went into Jin mode and then Trans Am, so he just knocked the complete shit out of him.
Now I'm trying to remember, did he go Trans Am
Yes.
in the original series? Okay.
At least once. What happened to the backlash of Trans Am? It still happens, but you have to finish Trans Am to get there. If you run Trans Am completely out, you get the backlash. Or if your gunplay is too weak. We talked about that last week. Why nobody just would go Trans Am. It's like, well, because you would blow up your GN drives. We proved that season 1 with Riku. He blew up his GN drives, damaged his gunplay by going to Trans Am without being able to handle it. But if you time out in Trans Am, you have the benefits of being super slow, having almost no particles left, things like that. If you use it and then turn it off, like Par did in the previous episode, then it's not that bad off. You know, you could still keep going. You can turn it off. It doesn't always have to go to the inevitable end. But it was pretty cool that they basically just beat the shit out of him. That was good. 25th attempt.
Just something I want to mention. When you see the Falculander getting flung through the asteroid, he's got like the anime squinty X eyes as
what's great about that, they actually react like an actual character, not like a Gundam. That's great. It does register them as anime characters, not as mecha. It's pretty neat. Then we got Hiruto going up against Ogre because why not? 3rd level needed a bigger boss. And we get to see the Rise 210 going at it. Holy shit, dude. Like, this thing is pretty epic. He slices an asteroid in 4 with just a quick X slash. And Hiruto's like, fuck this. Hito, what's your problem with cheesecake? Oh, now we're fighting about cheesecake. Do we have to fight about cheesecake? Then the Mejin and Build Fighters had a Trans Am booster. You are correct. Everyone's laughing at the kid in the wheelchair getting beat up. That's fucked up. Jerry, it's not like you're drinking, Jerry. Yeah, 25th attempt. Everyone is getting better. They're learning their weaknesses. But as I put in here, fucking Ogre. Like, damn. Proving once again why he's my favorite character. He goes after Hiruto, and then you get Kazumi. He gets in there.
Captain Z, I'm going to give up.
But actually, apparently I skipped a thing. But either way, he does go in to stop that. Hiruto, you go. But then at the same time, Rommel comes in, which is interesting. I don't know if I skipped something here. It doesn't seem like I did, but I know in this level it was like Ogre, and then all of a sudden they're up against Rommel.
What you missed was before we see Hiruto versus Ogre, we see Kazumi and Rommel are fighting, Mei and Tiger are fighting, and Par and his brother are fighting again.
Yeah. I figured everybody was fighting. I missed the Rommel versus that, so I was thinking that he hasn't come in to stop Ogre yet. That's where I got confused.
Not yet.
But yeah, no, he's going up against Rommel, who's coming in for an attack, and then he said Captain Zeon wouldn't give up if he was in my shoes, because he was about to. And then that's when Rommel like stops. He knocks the gun out of Rommel's hand, and then his sidekick's like, General, why did you do that? And he just has this ridiculous face. I love it. Like, Rommel was also one of my favorite characters. I feel like they changed his voice actor. Am I crazy? It didn't necessarily sound like the same voice.
No, I think it's the same voice actor because there's apparently the voice actor for Rommel and the voice actor for Captain Zeon are the same person.
This is why I thought there was a weird bit going on here. And I think I looked that up before.
And so
is he a Captain Zeon fan or is he Captain Zeon?
Yeah, this is to me is hinting that he might be Captain Zeon. That this is another login for him or something. Or maybe that's like his day job or something like that is to be Captain Zeon for GBN.
I wonder. Yeah, okay, yeah. I remember looking that up that the voice was the same because we were trying to find out what the Captain Zeon's voice was. Ogre is on fire in space. Can we address that? No,
No.
because GN particle flames. Why are you asking questions? Rommel's still the same. Rommel is Captain Xeon. I just think I don't wonder if it's a direct reference to the fact it's the same voice actor, or if he's literally Captain Xeon, because that would be weird. Like they're so different.
I choose to believe that he's Captain Xeon.
Well, I mean, technically speaking, he is Captain Xeon. Yeah, the best kind of speaking. Anyway, so it goes from there, and Cosme goes in to help out Hiruto as Ogre ignites his sword, which is really freaking cool. Once again, fire in space. Don't ask questions, Jerry. Hey, as long as it has some type of fuel, fire can burn anywhere, even in a vacuum.
Maybe he's burning the GN particles.
That's what I said. GN fire. It's a thing. Either way, I love this shot here. He actually gets in the middle, takes the hit, and he's like, I'll take him here till you go. It's like, what? That's like, you got to be shitting me. It's like Cosme's gotten some balls on him, especially seeing what Ogre has just previously done. But
also,
I guess
he's tanking a hit from Ogre.
Yeah, the same kind of hit that just cut through an asteroid, which I think is it's got to be a testament to him just finally breaking down and building something worth it to him. Although we seemingly have not gotten to the upgrades he wanted Hiruto to help him with, the modular kind of nature of it. We also haven't seen it in flight mode at all. I mean, that's coming up. I'm surprised it hasn't come out yet. Red Beret painted in Blastmaster colors, Rommel McDonald. No. I mean, wouldn't it be the same if it was painted in Captain Xeon's new colors? That's terrible. Can you make an alternate account GBN? Probably. Champ had to disguise himself. Yeah, but that was literally just a filter, more or less. You can use guest accounts. I don't see why you can't Smurf and no. Just no. Okay. Whoa, what happened here? Why are my notes going wonky? It literally like skips a huge chunk for no reason. The enter button must have been stuck. Either way, we cut back to the hospital.
You were doing that last time too.
Hotel, hospital. Well, I mean, it looks like a hotel. Let's just be honest here.
You almost got me doing it now. It's a nice hospital room.
Dude, he's got a legit like king size bed there. Like, look at that. Look at that footboard for that bed in this not hospital. But I like the fact that he walks back into the room, presumably after helping the kids finish their gunpla, and Mizuki is watching the battles from the divers. That Cosme, remember we said Cosme uploaded the rest of his videos so everybody could see them.
Yeah, because so I think you see it close up at the screen and it's like Walk This Way Volume 3 or something like that.
Yeah, it's one of their earliest battles, but then you look through it and you see some of the other ones they've been through. So that jackass is recording all their battles to upload to his GTube, but nobody watched it until now. But I thought she was watching the current battle originally. Also, your audio did the thing that it does.
Yeah, I got something on your end as well, which probably is just a sign that my end is doing weird things.
Actually, it's better now. I don't know. I think yours goes after a certain amount of time. The speakers just don't care anymore. But I like that she basically gets into, look, you know, I know that you did in there and you did all the things you did and watching what these guys do, but how did Gunpla do this? So, like, for some reason, we take a break for him to explain how GBN works. He's like, well, you scan your Gunpla and GBN analyzes its data and turns it into a mech that you can pilot with your character. And I get that it's a setup for the next thing. And she's like, and then it can just do whatever. And he's like, well, you know, whatever innate abilities are built into the Gunpla it has and its strength that are built into it are there. But 10 minutes later, we get to finish this conversation. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, he's like, Shido says, like, the skill and effort are decisive factors, but the most important thing is.
Yeah. And then
we jump cut.
I just imagine that she's just sitting there Because if that conversation's happening in real time with these battles, she's waiting a long time for him to finish that sentence, and she probably called a nurse like 5 times. He stopped in the middle of a sentence and hasn't completed it for 15 minutes. Y'all need to go check it out. I think something happened. Because, like, okay, so we're on attempt 25 right now, and then at least 15 more attempts before he finishes this sentence. Oh, good lord. Oski looks adorable walking in holding his Gunpla. Yeah, of course he does. Look at him all pajamaed up. You know, why do you wait 10 minutes to finish your sentence? What? Like for him, he's like, what? Like he didn't even miss it. He was there watching the battle. But then we get the fated showdown, where Hiruto flies on and encounters Riku, who literally wastes no time and goes instantly into Trans Am
Infinity.
Like, screw you, I'm going all out right now. He just goes straight after him. You know, they have a quick exchange back and forth, and Hiruto's like, switches into high speed mode, which is the thing I forgot to do when I did the review, and just whoop, gets out of there. And so Riku's like, okie dokie, chases after him in the Double Sky Mobius, or Mabius, as they said. I gotta wonder if like they're referring to like a Mobius strip, you know, like
I think
the whole time travel dealy. So can it travel through time now?
Well, Mobius strip is also a symbol for infinity.
It's one of them, yeah, you're right. Hiruto was impressive. Double O's abilities are simple but too high. Why? Why is it too high? It's a Double O combined with a destiny. It's pretty good. And like it was OP back in the day when it had an Eldiver helping boost it, but he's also had 2 years to work on this thing. You know, so it is more powerful than it used to be, and he's a better combatant, so to speak. Pilot, that's the word I'm looking for. So, I mean, the fact that it is as OP as it is kind of makes sense in this universe now. Overkill is a champion, correct. Still,
we're getting there.
Double O Sky. I never liked the idea of it being the sky. I thought that was stupid, to be totally honest. But I love this. So he catches up to Hiruto, who does something kind of new. He does a bolt out, dumping the entire armor and allowing Riku to fly right through him, which is an amazing scene because he was about to slice him in half, and Riku's like,
"Yeah, Riku has this like, what the did you just do?"
Yeah, like, wait, did I actually cut him? Because he just went to pieces. So we get that ability of the small Gunpla once again coming into play. But I love this.
I also like when they do a little split screen thing to show the two of their reactions at the same time. And Hiruto is upside down because that's where he is in relation.
Yeah, he's actually upside down, yeah.
And we've seen them do stuff like this before where we see if you do a split screen with a face, they'll make sure to have it be kind of in relation to what the Gunpla's doing.
Yeah. It's amazing that Hiruto can keep up with the Mobius just J5 armor. Yeah, no kidding. That's what he even says. He's like, dude, that thing is fast, but he can't keep up. And you got to think, he's almost as fast as something in Trans Am that was already very fast. Yeah. But I love the move he does. So he flips around, targets the Double O, and then goes for the shot. But then Riku's like, turns the GN drive, hits the GN field real quick, and blocks the shot. Almost point blank in an instant, blocks the shot with the GN field. And I didn't get the best screenshot. Then, like 2 frames later, it looks a lot cleaner, but you get the idea. I love this exchange is so fast. The fact that
it really is,
yeah. So let's look at it this way. Hiruto is piloting what equates to a really good, normal-ish Gundam. And you've got a souped-up Double O in Trans Am on the other side with a pilot who is used to moving at that speed with this kind of output. And Hiruto,
I think the kits, when they talk about like what suit it's based off of or something like that.
Yeah.
They specifically say that he's like based off of Grandpa.
Who?
The Core Gundam. Like
Oh,
the Core Gundam is based off of Grandpa. So you got something based off the RX-78-2 versus a souped up 00.
Based on, you know, based on. But I love this idea that, like, so Riku's like, you know what? Screw you. I'm going to shoot you with my big old guns. So not only does he have two kind of 00-ish cannons, now he's got twin cannons on his backpack. And hasn't, or at least in this mode, he doesn't use any of his swords. He's just using two big-ass cannons. So he still has some destiny left in it. And then Hiruto's like, nah, fam. Pulls over his little Jupiter funnels or whatever the heck they're called and matches the output. Like, how the fuck does he manage this? It's like they're nearly point blank range. They fire, the beams cancel out and then explode. And then, yeah, like somebody was just saying in the chat, they're having fun while doing
They
this.
are.
Which is why I love this shot right here. Yeah,
And it's a not creepy smile.
It's not a creepy smile. It's an actual real smile, but we're still not quite used to it. Even though he's been smiling for like 5 episodes now, it's still weird. Overkill is a mobile suit that can summon other mobile suits like the Tri-Age. I mean, if you're going with things it can do in another game, sure. But I mean, OP is something that can literally summon, a giant rock out of the sky. Or OP is summoning a gigantic Gunpla that you didn't actually build based off of the energy that you turned your other friend's Gunpla into. Yes, I'm going back to
You're never going to forgive Island Wars, are you?
No, it made no fucking sense. I thought it was an explanation that they actually built that and they had to carry it around. Like it's in a backpack nearby. Grandpa Core, let me show these kids how things are done without Trans Am. Imagine the power of Core Gundam with Trans Am. Don't get me started on a GN powered Core Gundam. Hiruto smiling is illegal, but it feels good, like doing weed in a state where it's illegal. Whatever. First time we see Hiruto having fun. Fun, yes. This is the first time we've seen him having fun since the flashbacks.
Yeah.
This is the first time current Hiruto is having fun with Gunpla.
Because we have seen him have fun, before his girlfriend died at his hands.
Yeah. For his L girl. But I like that one thing this proved is with time, Riku is not just a Gary Stu anymore. He wasn't getting lucky because he had an L diver on board or he had the super special Gundam. Like he's become a legit good pilot. I mean, Hiruto is almost an elite on his own without team. Not to mention he was a part of Team Avalon. Now here's the question. I guess Riku just never came to visit. Like while he was part of Team Avalon, except for when everything weird was going down. I guess not, but Hiruto was on the outskirts of Team Avalon, never really involved in like what the main three were doing. So he never interacted with Riku before, except for nearly shooting him out of the sky.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this is really good that he got to do this. But everybody literally just wanted to see him beat down Riku, and he really did, like in any way. Like, hold on, it helps if I change screens. There we go. But we do get this lovely slash where he's like, and they run in together. So now he pulls out his sword guns, which are gigantic and ridiculous. And then Riku's just coming in with his like beam pile bunkers flying in on his armor instead of being armored up. So he's like really piloting the shit out of the Jupiter.
This almost makes me want to get the 00 Sky Mobius or whatever the heck this thing is called.
Mavis, apparently. It's a Mavis. It's the Mavis Gundam. It's named after a cow. I think we only really see Hiruto yelling that he's going to save Eve from the mountainside outside the floating castle. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They never had an interaction up till that moment. But even then, he had to be explained to who Riku was. So it is what it is. Dude, we still have 36 people watching.
Woot!
Yay. And then we get to see the champ is watching everybody go, and he starts talking about, this is an interesting team, you know? And I say, this is a really interesting team. Alligator's just sitting around watching them go on, you know, in his good old Tri-Age Gundam. And then he says, well, I got to see if they're really right for the first ever mission to protect the planet. Show me that you were rightly chosen. The fuck is he talking about? Like, really, what the fuck is he talking about? He knows what they're actually doing.
Well, if he's seen the videos, maybe he's come to the conclusion that that it was real.
No. I think that there was more manipulation happening behind the scenes. And we know he's really tied to the game master and the other things. Now, knowing if they had the same knowledge that Maggie has, sure. But it says, show me that you were rightly chosen to do this mission.
We always thought Maggie was acting very weird and cagey about all of this. That was one of the observations we had whenever that character showed up in the first half of the series.
Yeah.
For ReRISE, that May would be talking to them about this, and Maggie would just sort of blow it off, but not in a like it doesn't actually matter way, but like in a I'm not talking about this way.
Yeah. Well, it was more like
you always felt like they knew more than they let on.
So that's where I've always come to the conclusion that they had an idea that this was going on. Well, they already knew that they were looking for Shido. They knew Shido disappeared, and there was this story about a story mission. So I think that they've known what was going on, and with that weird coincidence of the Build Divers name, I think they were setting up the original Build Divers to go on this mission. But our ReRISE divers happened upon it first, which is why the name was already programmed. And the fact that he knows what's up, like, even if they explain that, look, this is what's happening on Eldora, this is our mission that we're doing, he's thinking that, like, this isn't a mission that they happened on. This is a mission they were chosen to do. So, unless this is a translation error to some degree, or it doesn't translate.
It's also possible. We know that the champ speaks very flamboyantly. Like he talks like he's a main character in an anime.
Yeah, that's true.
So it could just be that he is just taking it to 11 like he always does.
I still want to believe that they knew, but they didn't have a solution, especially with the fact that Shido disappeared. I think they knew that Shido went in there, didn't know what was going on because they can only see the outside. But if Alice can see into GBN and GBN is connected to what's happening in Eldora, I bet the game masters can see but can't manipulate or have an effect on anything in Eldora. I think they've been watching what happens but couldn't do anything. But once again, it's a massive coincidence that these people got connected together to end up where they went, even with May being on board.
Right.
So I think there was some gentle manipulation to get at least May there. You know, they probably didn't know where the access point was. They just knew it was in a certain area. They all had that rumor. You're telling me that all of these rumors led these particular 4 people to accidentally end up there? I know Hiruto was kind of dragged along, but May was there literally looking for Shido. So they knew something was going on. I think they've had that inkling all along, but didn't know what to do about it. And once again, these divers, so to speak, happened into it by accident. We'll see what happens. But one thing that's weird is that technically Muskie was the first to accept the mission. Yes, he was when Kuadorn called for it. So, but in theory, he never had to accept the mission again to get back into it. He just had to log back in. We've seen them do that, like, I'm on this mission, boop, you know. So if they knew that there was a mission out there, but they couldn't find the entrance point, and until Freddy put out another request for help, you know, it is what it is. So I think they were able to see it, but not do anything. And they were just waiting, quote unquote, for the right people to get there. Because could you imagine if the original Divers did this? Like, if this was a true sequel series, like, it would not play out the same at all.
No.
Why did Hiruto return to GBN after 2 years? No real thing to say he was gone out of GBN entirely. He probably popped back in occasionally. But yeah, you're right. Why did he choose to go back in when he did and start again and searching for Eve?
I always got the feeling that maybe he didn't necessarily leave. He just basically he left at Force Avalon, maybe put himself in like invisible mode, like in Discord or something like that. So he's online and nobody in his friends list can message him or something.
No. They specifically repeated over and over season 1 that it's good that he's back doing this again.
That's right. Okay.
So why did he suddenly, after 2 years, start poking around looking for Eve in different worlds? He was hoping that Eve would be in this random new world they kind of found.
Oh, it's because of the upgrade. They upgraded GBN, and he was like, so he was checking out the worlds, looking at the sky, hoping to find Eve potentially.
Yeah, that part was always weird. He was like spiritual. He was on a spiritual journey. Is really what he was on. Mm-hmm. A walkabout, basically. Oh yeah, we could just call this Hiruto's walkabout. That's really what this whole thing is. And it is like a fever dream. So yeah, he's on a walkabout. But yeah, no. What really did kind of push Hiruto to get back into GBN after being gone for almost 2 years? It's a good question. I think there was some gentle manipulation, but you got to remember that Masaki disappeared 6 months prior to this series. So, this current upgrade just happened at the beginning of the series. But it's not like it was offline or anything, or only running old mode for the longest time. So, oh, and think about that. Shido was gone when the upgrade happened. The fact that he got back at all is interesting. Freddie is watching OG build divers, hope for them to help. Yeah, but he didn't put in their name to say, I need the build divers to help me. Like, he didn't put that in. He was sitting there waiting in English, mind you. I don't think he literally said that there. I think that they put it. I think that somebody else did it. Yes, he was watching the adventures of the original build divers and got involved. He was also watching a lot of GBN otherwise. So, either way, moving on with the notes. That's just an important question. Why did he say that? Maybe they're rightly chosen. I mean, by destiny, okay, fine. But then he decides to be Dick and literally takes all 4 of them down at the same time with his phone. Forget what they were doing. He just, I'm the champ.
And all of them are like, what just happened?
Literally, all 4 of them had no clue what just happened. There was no way for them to see that his funnels were coming to kill them. So he's kind of a dick. Although that just kind of proves how awesome the Tri-Age really is.
And I just love how he's
nonchalantly
he's looming over the battlefield. We get this low-angle shot of him, of the mobile suit, and then they transition to a shot inside, and it's still that same low-angle shot with appropriate lighting where he's
not only
down at them.
No, not only that, they match cut the pan. So as they're panning up the Tri-Age, they cut to inside. His face is taking the same spot the Gundam was and is panning at the same rate. This show, like the people producing it, know how to make things look good. Their placement of things on screen, their match cuts between scenes are so good. Like, especially this season, or this back half of the season.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the fact that he only needed to kill one to get the game over, and he killed all four.
Just
He
because
just, like,
you could.
champ out. Like, now, mind you, this was still what we assume was tried number 25, and that means he attacked from level 5. We never saw level 4. So did they push the other guys through level 4? He's in level 5. And then we jump to coincidental number 40. And the funny thing is, I went, like, as I'm writing these notes, I even said this. I was like, wait a minute. I was thinking back. I hadn't gotten to the moment yet. I'm like, they succeeded on try 40, didn't they? And then they got there. I was like, God damn it. It was like they had to go. But this is the 40th. I was like, of course they
I didn't even think about that.
Of course they did. I was like, I'm fine with it. They got Dark Soul. That is what it is. It even faded out. You died. Yes, that's true. Did I miss the point where they timed out? I think I did. I think it was earlier.
There was a timeout at some point, but
There was. It was early on. I had it in the notes, but I skipped over it. So they had a 30-minute time limit for anybody who cared. That's what I brought up earlier. Is people were trying to do the math. It's like they didn't max out the time every time, so it wouldn't matter the 30-minute time limit as long as they died within the first 5 minutes. I bet there were some they went in there and went dead in the first 5 seconds, or first 10 minutes. They got to go through 5 sections and the end in 30 minutes. That's like 6 minutes per.
Considering like
5 minutes
the
per.
Gamma Gundam is designed for like long range shooting or something like that, there's probably one time where they spawn in and suddenly Kazumi probably gets his head blown off and you see the Gamma Gundam there with the rifle smoking.
Yeah, I was like, this could have been 2 episodes of all of their failures, but we really didn't need to see that. And I like how Gregory decided to go ahead and spell it out for everybody. Good job, Gregory. Gregory. Sorry, you're a Gregory Zirkov. Okay. So they're all pinned together, full defensive. Champion's just smacking the crap out of them. Also, how does it feel to be the guys before this who have gotten their ass kicked 40 times? Like, because at some point they had to have beaten everyone before this to get here, at least 30 some odd times.
To be fair, I think some of the times they're basically just zipping past them.
I assume there's some zipping, but then that would leave a lot of enemies behind you to catch up to you. And then you end up with exponential enemies to fight. That's the problem. So I wish we had seen the Gamma Gundam get after it, but we didn't. We don't even see the final fight of this, and that pisses me off to some degree. But I know why they did it either way. Mm-hmm. So they said, okay, why don't we try the thing that they did before? When did they try the thing before? So May's like, Par and I will handle the funnels. Cool. Was that part of the plan? I don't even know. So they fly away. It's like coolness. And then we get May charging up a really big beam shot to shoot at the champ because that's going to work. You got this, May. He just whoops out of the way. And I think you actually see the thruster flip and turn. And he literally goes, whop, like just literally turns out of the way without even uncrossing his arms. I think he's such a dick. He just went whoop, not. But I love the fact that the plan was not to hit the champ, but to hit Mr. Par, who flew behind in the line sight, went Gundam. Yeah, puts out his dual swords, which now deflect the beam back, and now he's beam spamming without even shooting, despite the fact he has two really big cannons. Why does he never use his really big cannons? He doesn't even use his buster. The hell are you doing out there, Par? Literally didn't bring his big guns to this fight. Either way, he rains fire down upon the entire battlefield, wiping out asteroids, debris, and the funnels, which was pretty badass. And I think the champ actually took a couple hits before covering himself.
I think so too.
Did he? Does his beam cape do anything, or is it just?
It turns into the beam sword.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, when it's not doing anything but being a cape, does it do anything? Like, Is that a shield?
Did you ask that same question of the Fenice Gundam?
No, because we know what that did. It wrapped around his arm, and then he punched you with his beam cape. Of course he did. But anyways, how they went, we should try this 15 turns later. Now, mind you, we're not guaranteeing they made it to the champ 15 times. There's probably other times they failed. This is the time we got back to the champ. This is the most gamer moment, I think, out of this entire series. All 3 seasons. This is like the gamer moment. Going after the same level over and over and over and trying it again. This is the Cuphead of GBN. And you're trying to get a perfect score.
For Hello Neighbor.
Hold on. The cape is a shield. Capes are just decoration. All capes are a health hazard, at least in the Incredibles world it is. Don't bring logic into a Gundam fight. Screw you. I'll bring logic wherever I want. I carry logic in a briefcase. Just here's my logic. Anyways, so wipes out the funnels, and he's like, well, that kind of sucked. At the same time, Hiruto, I had to think about that, comes in shooting from the front, and he's like, oh, crap, I got to deal with this. So he pulls out his big Dodge rifle and shoots, except for the fact that he only takes out the Jupiter flyer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, the Jupiter flyer. Whatever will we do? I love this. This strategy is so fantastic. And then in the explosion, he senses something coming at him. So he reaches back, pulls out his now sword, which I assume was his cape, which is a neat transformation, not going to lie. And then he slashes, and he contacts, not with Hiruto, but with Kazumi, who's now in king mode because he's got his cool staff, sword, beam, shield thing. Wham. I love this shot, though. It was like, I couldn't catch it smaller than this. I tried 3 times. This is as close without going, what? Everyone knows a cape is so it can fly. It's in space, Jerry. But I love this.
He said something about, of course it can fly. It has a cape when referring to the...
the Just guy. Yeah, the Justy guy. Canonically, luck of the draw. It's entirely random. You could summon a bear guy, GM spray gun, Big Zam. It's all just in the heart of the pla. It's heart of the pla, Jerry. It's not heart of the carts. But either way, they yell at go Hiruto because they got to do that. And then we get a moment where we remember that he has a cool core flyer now. Why do they not call it the core flyer? Because I feel like they should.
I don't know if they ever call it by anything, actually.
I haven't built it yet. It's still over there. I know you just got it. Spoilers. Go watch his What I Got video, guys.
I got lots of cool stuff.
Now you know 2 things he got. Yeah, you know 2 cool things he got. Anyway, so he flies by. And he was going so quick, I literally could not catch a frame of the core Gundam going by. But I'm pretty sure they reused some footage from the first time we saw it. But he flies past, dumps the jet backpack, flips over, and then targets the champ from behind, which I actually had a shot of, but instead I got the sniper shot here. So I like that we still sort of get Hiruto's sniping ability, even though he's using the little gun. But he doesn't actually get to shoot, which seems crappy. Like,
they blow up everybody else. Why don't they blow up the Tri-Age?
Actually, that's not true. Other than the first couple guys, fodder-wise, we don't see them blow up anybody. They get blown up. But I think they only have to be set up for a kill shot. We never see them pass the other guys, essentially. They don't kill any of them. They just get past them. Either by speed or they disable them. We don't see any.
The ones that we saw blew up were the same ones that got blown up in the original version of the Lotus Challenge.
Yeah. So yeah. Is it referred to? I think it's referred to as a core booster. It should just be called a core flyer. Stupid. There are times when we get into these things that this light really starts getting to me. Like my eyes. Like I know you're looking at your review set, but that's not a light directly in your face.
I have the lights facing away from me. They're bouncing off of the.
You've got indirect light. Mine is pointing at my eyeballs 3 feet away. Where are we? Best animation. Yes, actually, this is some of the best animation that they have so far. I'm gonna scroll because I wasn't doing this. But now we have to go on to the Lotus boss himself, which I also didn't save that picture. Either way, he said, "Look, you got to fight me now." Yay! Wow, I just realized how big a jump that was. Hold on, how are my pictures that screwed up? Give me a second. No, okay. Let's see what happened there. So that was him contacting them. Now you got to fight me, and then it shows them all flying on to the final fight. That's right. Sorry, there's a very similar thing right at the very end. So that's why I was like, why is this picture here? So I love this. Everybody did make it, and the only one who's not using jet thrust is somehow Par, but I guess he's GN powered. He doesn't need that. Yay!
Yeah.
And now we finally get to the next word of Shido's conversation. Feelings.
Most important thing is feelings.
Yeah, it's feelings. Now, the Lord Lotus or whatever his name is, he's like, you don't have a whole lot of firepower left. How do you expect to get past me and I field and then blow up the generator? Off screen is how. We will off-screen this thing to death. That's I get that they need the mystery, but this was so like, you know. And it's fine that we got the nice moment here, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, it's just like, okay. So basically, our feelings will help us get there, and they're doing it for the people of Eldora, which is fine and dandy. And then they yell as they go in. As long as you're yelling, you're definitely going to win, right?
That's how it works in anime.
At least in Gundam, for sure. Especially Divers series. If you yell, it helps. But basically saying if you have your feelings, you can put your hopes and dreams and feelings and everything into the Gunpla, and miracles can occur.
Mm-hmm.
We've sort of been railed with this since the first series. Even EU put it into us before, and that's fine. It's the heart of the cards. It's all the thing. But in this case,
Build Fighters basically had that.
Build Fighters had that, which especially in Tri, and yeah, it makes sense in universe. I'm not arguing that. It's just kind of funny. But then they do have this nice deep moment where she basically says, "Look, this time, will you let my feelings ride with you in your Gunpla?" So she's basically saying, look, I know you need to go back. If you go, take my feelings with you. So, like, I really like this moment between brother and sister. But what's with the fist on
the chest?
Yeah. I get it's like a I'm here kind of boom, in your heart situation probably. But like you brought it up a couple episodes ago with Hinata and Hiruto. It's like, and now they're doing it. I'm like, wait, is this a thing that the archery people do?
Is it a Japanese thing? I don't know.
Well, it was Hinata did it to Hiruto, remember?
Yeah.
And now she's doing it to him. They're both in the archery club. So is that a thing? Because whenever they held their bows out before they shoot them, they do hold their out like that, but it's usually their other hand.
Also the other way.
Yeah. No, when it's unshot. Yeah, either way. Yelling to increase your Gundam performance is a well-known fact. Yep. Team members, beginners, how can they fight top-ranked force? Why are you asking questions, Bob Chen? It's like that's the Gunpla logic. Their feelings. Well, let's see. Par was taught Gunpla battling and building by one of the pros. Kazumi is an idiot, but very lucky, and has gotten better over time. May's an L-diver, which already gives her an advantage. And Hiruto is a badass. So put all these
Hiruto was effectively he was on his way to becoming a high-ranking member of GBN.
Yeah.
And then the bad things happened.
Kazumi was probably decent in his own right, just never been part of a team,
Mhm.
and also had never fought overwhelming forces like they've come to on Eldora. Basically, it's...
Oh, wait, no, Katsumi was a part of a team, remember?
Oh, that's right. You're right. I forgot. He was part of a team until he was too much of a selfish prick and got kicked out.
Yep.
That's right. Sorry, I forgot about his team. Oh, why weren't they in this battle?
That would have been an
Why? Damn it. That was like a season 1 thing, that he needed to get past. Everyone else's previous teams got to be involved, but not Hiruto's or Kazumi's, sorry.
Unless they're in the background somewhere.
I didn't see him. They should have been on screen to talk to Kazumi. To see, oh, we've seen you've changed. That would have been a good moment. I bet it was planned and they didn't have time.
I would not be surprised because we've already commented that there's several things that feel like got cut, truncated, or moved around.
Yeah. Also, are we not acknowledging the fact this is episode 24, and isn't that where they normally end? Is it? Do they always? They don't always make it to an episode 25.
It varies depending on
what
they're contracted for.
Yeah. But yeah, basically,
a core of anime is usually like 11 to 12 episodes.
I wish it would be more. Well, this one started on episode, what, 13?
Thereabouts, yeah.
Yeah. So that means we've gotten 10, right? Been 25. Shut up, Jerry. I don't know. Part of me wishes they would just go a full, like really stretch it out, give us a hell of a lot more. I know they're not going to, but it's what I want. It used to be 50 episodes. Yes, I know, and I missed those days. But I guess they're spreading it out over seasons now. Instead of making one season is 50. Mm-hmm. It's 50 combined. No, this isn't even 50 combined. This is 26 combined. Yeah, that annoys me.
So we get a couple extra.
But even with Divers Original, it's not 50. So, ooh, yeah. Hey, let's stretch it out to 50 and give us another 13 after this. But we cut back to the battle after this, and holy shit, it's over. And there's nothing left of La Vie and Crab. All our previous champs and pros are all like, well, damn. They're literally all shocked. And we see everyone else's screen. They're all tired and they're all like dumbfounded and they're all still alive. But then we get Hiruto's screen. He finished with 0.01 seconds left. Because, yeah.
Of course.
And we now have a new finishing move. Not even just a special move, but a finishing move. Or maybe he's calling it finish move 01. So
that's the default name, I think. And he does refer to it as
our special move.
Specifically, he refers to it as a Hitsatsu, which is finishing move.
Yeah. So we know that these are earned. We learned that back in Build Divers 1. So you have to basically find or earn or discover your Gunpla special move. It's not just, ooh, I want to do this. It's sort of like what's going to happen. It's a Deus Ex Machina, basically. You know. And then it's like, okay, this is now programmed as a thing your thing can do. So I think so this is just for the core Gundam. So this isn't just everyone's. So they developed a special move together as a team that literally wiped out all the things over there in just core Gundam mode.
Yeah, because Jupitive armor was long gone.
Yeah. So, oh yeah, that's a fair point. That does read wrong. It should be 2959.9, not 58.9. That's right. That would be off by a second. You're not wrong. They actually got that wrong on the screen. That's funny. It's the wrong amount of time. They still have another second to go. That's funny. That's really funny that they got that wrong. Or the thing needs to move over a decimal. Either way. So we've sort of thought that maybe everybody's got some extra parts that might combine. So maybe that's why it's our special move and why everybody has some slight extra parts, and how Cosme has some new modular abilities to his Gunpla that we haven't seen yet. So maybe everybody combines into a giant fucking cannon for the core Gundam with the Aegis right up front. Basically they accidentaled upon their finishing move, so to speak.
Right.
But hey, it worked, so hey, we win. Yay. Then Momo have to go in and ruin it. Ah, dang it, I don't have the shot. Momo pops in and literally says, yay, finally, you guys won. Why don't we come back to our nest to talk about it? And actually, I had another shot in there that isn't saved. I hate when I do that. But either way, this is where you take over because I'm done talking.
So back at the Force Nest, everyone is talking and mingling. Tiger Wolf says that they're pretty good and they should start training with them. Par's brother, because I can never remember what his name is.
I
can't even pronounce that. So
okay.
Par's brother.
Okay, hold on. You got Par and you got Shar. It's not that hard. It's Shar is his name.
Shar.
Yeah, he goes to Shari, but shorten it to Shar.
So Shariar says they shouldn't train with them because then they'll just turn into meatheads.
Yep. And yes, that is why I said that, Hida, that the Bourdon Pod's extra parts happen to look like parts of a Gunpla. I don't think that's like, I feel like the core Gundam is going to get bigger somehow from all the extra parts. Either way, moving on. So
before Shariar and Tiger Wolf can start fighting, that one guy from Team Avalon comes up to says Hirata should, really come and it said his big dumb plan.
Big dumb plan. We know there's a big dumb plan.
Don't know what it is.
No. Okay, but you said other people come up. Well, yeah. Hold on. We got before that. Dang it! Did I do it again?
No, that's later.
Yeah, this is what happens when my pictures aren't in order. God dang it! I had the pictures in order. It's not in order anymore.
Yeah. So basically, Avalon people are being friendly to him, saying it's like, look, we care about you. Come visit. Let us know that you're alive.
Yeah.
Koichi and Ayame are talking with Bart, complimenting his design.
I had that picture.
What's that?
I had that picture.
Doji is talking with Kazumi and Yuki. He compliments Kazumi on not just showing off like he used to. Kazumi's kind of like, yeah, right.
Yep.
Yuki compliments him on building a machine with such strong defense. And then Ogre comes up saying he's not seasoned enough. All tough in the shell, but not savory. He says that he should go train with them or go duel with him and become something tastier. And this is just a really weird conversation.
Well, I love his reaction. He's like, okay. But like, I like his thing. But like the fact that Ogre says you're not seasoned enough, it's a double entendre.
Yeah.
Means you don't have enough experience, but also you don't taste good enough for the way you are. You're just a tough shell thing.
Did he talk in all food things?
He's very hungry. I assume, yes, he always talked like this. I assume that he's a chef by the way he acts. And
his Gordon Ramsay confirmed.
And the fact that he has a propensity to use blades.
Should have a giant meat cleaver. That would be awesome.
Okay, hold on. Just real quick. I need to address this. Hida says planet system solar combination Gatai. He brought no other armors with him. This is a rehearsal. He brought no other armors. So everybody who's thinking
somehow ES summon them or something, which
we know he can't. He can only bring in two. One that's on him and one he's riding. So I don't think there's a way he's just gonna suddenly, Ronin Warriors this thing and every armor combines into super armor. It's like this is something they had on them, which is only their Gunpla and nothing else. So I don't know. Next episode's going to be interesting. I think a lot of theories are going the way of the garbage can.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, the fact that Kazumi's like, I don't know what to do with this guy. Like this guy's way too intense even for me. Sure.
Are you going to eat me for real, or is this a metaphor? I need an adult. I am an adult.
He is. Cosme's not. He just looks like one.
Anyway,
we get a moment into Archer Brothers.
so Par goes up to his brother, addressing him nervously and formally. He asks for help completing his transam, which he agrees to and says they'll do special training later. And Par's all happy.
And by the
It's
way,
kind of-
guys, I know a lot of people definitely what's the word I'm looking for? Simp. A lot of people simp for Maggie. I stand. It's like I stand some Shariar. I mean, I'm sorry. I know Shariar is a dude, but come on. I mean, just look at that. Look, very pretty. It's like Shariar is very pretty. He's all about beautiful Gunpla. It doesn't seem like they haven't talked in a while. I'm sure they haven't talked in a while because Par's on the other side of the world currently. Yeah. But there's no way Shari doesn't know what's going on. You know, obviously he knows what his little brother's up to. He probably talks to him. But if he's now currently in charge of the company, getting ready to hand it over to little brother sometime soon, second little brother, we don't know where the other one is. I don't know, but the fact that he's still faking not being related is really interesting. Because seeing these two talk to right next to each other, somebody would go, "Hey, those guys kind of look alike, don't they?" I'm just saying.
But in the end, they're avatars.
Shariar seems really capricious, a little bit. Yeah, Carlos simps for Jed, so. But it's possible they've been a little bit distanced. But I mean, they could be on the same boat and never see each other. With their giant ocean.
Considering how big that thing is, it's the size of a freaking skyscraper.
It's an ocean liner for just Par, seemingly, and whoever those other people were. It's like those people are just here to make me seem normal. I hired them.
They're all actors.
Funny. I need that on a shirt now. It's like I stand for Shariar.
Anyway, so Rommel comes up to talk with Cosme, doing the little ahem. And Cosme's is all formal and stuff, and then Rommel asks if he likes Captain Xeon.
Damn it, Jerry. Damn it.
What?
Technically, you mean upper deck. God damn it, Jerry. This is what happens when you come from Moni. You get your own yacht at 10. Hey, that's an ocean liner. It's not a boat.
It probably has a yacht somewhere
on it. It has a yacht inside it for when they need to go ashore. See, that's actually, you know what? That's what I find funny. So usually an ocean liner only docks at the port that it's really loading up from. You know, if you go on a cruise, they're usually out and they take smaller boats in. If it's a smaller port. You know, this is a fairly small port in theory. So the fact that this is docked means it's going to be there for a minute. So it means this is not a normal thing, or else they'd be coming and going in and out every week or every few days. He's been parked there for a while, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the other passengers are just the maids and butlers. He just rented an entire ship just to go over there.
It's the smallest one they had.
Ogre is more your flavor. It's a good pun. It's a good pun, Hida. I don't even know if you meant it, but that's a good pun. It was accidentally opened some software. Yes, now they have the Captain Xeon.
Yeah, so he asks if he likes Captain Xeon, and Cosme just goes into this full fanboy rant thing, and Rommel is greatly enjoying this, going all sparkly, and his tail is wagging. And his
tail wagging. His men watching.
They're like, oh god. And this is where I think it basically all but confirms that he's Captain Xeon and he's just enjoying somebody fanboying about him.
Yes, I have seen one of those. Yeah. technically it's a super yacht, but actually has a boat launch, has a helicopter on it. It's like you can get some mega yachts that are smaller than that and have a boat with a boat and a helicopter. Yeah, either way. But no, I don't know if he technically is, because I feel like he would tell him in that moment. But I think it is just playing on the fact that people know it's the same voice actor. Like it's just a nudge, like they're.
So next up, we have Momo glomping May and asked her to go on a mission with her sometime, saying that they're all fellow Bill divers after all.
This is true. They are.
And this is something, it's come up a couple of times, is that they refer to them as the other Bill divers. And they are not like, they don't address they don't like approach it as something like, it's like, yeah, you guys called yourself the Bill divers, really? Or you guys stole our name, you know that, right? No, they're like, no, you guys are part of the family now. Sure, you called yourselves that.
I hope they don't, like, at the end, like, I kind of hope they get their own name by the end. Like, they don't just stay Bill Divers, but, or they don't just join in with the other team. It's like, yeah, that's great. You guys have a nest. We've got a whole planet. It's like that we didn't even technically have to buy.
We got a planet and a dragon, like a real dragon.
It's like Par's even got his own servant. Remember, Freddie pledged fealty last week. Last week he pledged fealty. He's got a servant when he becomes king.
Cosme's got a girlfriend.
This is true. Cosme has a girlfriend. They better kiss next episode. It's gonna be weird, but they better do it.
Anyway, so while Momo's talking to her, May sees Hiruto looking at Riku. So she decides to take action, and the two of them head up to a giant cliff overlooking the nest, which another really cool shot, but also makes me wonder, they must have been walking for a while unless they fast traveled or something, because that was really high up and looked pretty far away.
They just fast travel, probably. I mean, they were overlooking the nest. But remember, what I actually love about this is such a callback to the first season, where Hiruto always went to a high spot to look at the sky, and then May would find him there, or they would run into each other at the high spot. That's why I love this. So in this case, May told Hiruto to meet her up there. So they went up there instead of it being his prerogative to separate and go to the high place to look at the sky. So this is a really good, like, for those who've watched it, this is a good payoff of the connection these two have had since the beginning. So they meet up here, and then
like, why are we here? And what's that?
Well, this shot is fantastic. The way what I mentioned to you, that the people who made this, their use of space and weight, same thing they did last episode with Mizuki and Hinata sitting in the dark on that one little corner. Everything over here. They've been doing this for a while.
This is very classic rule of thirds.
Yes, very. Except the grass looks super tall. So we're actually at grass level. This is an anime thing where they sit the camera in the grass to look at the characters in a distance, which I really like that.
Mm-hmm. So here, just like, why are we here? And Mason's just wait, you'll see. And that's when Riku and Sarah walk up.
Surprise!
And they're looking and Riku looks nervous. He's got the little sweat drop thing going on.
He and Hiruto both did. I don't know if you caught that. When they cut back, Hiruto's the same way. I'm like, okay, so they're both being weird about this. It's like, well, I guess they're Eldiver friends. Both said, hey, we need to talk up on this hill. And they're both like, ah, crap, what's going to happen? Like, to them, it's like, I mean,
we fight? Are we going to fight now?
Isn't that what it always is when your girlfriend asks you to go walk off to the side from people? But like, we really don't know what the current state of the relationship between Riku and Sarah is, whether they're just friends or if they're more. But like, Mei and Hiruto have a thing sort of happening, but not. They're shipping a little, but like
they're developing.
But it doesn't seem to be romantic. But neither did Sarah and Riku. But that was when he was a kid. Now he's a little bit older. Hiruto's already older.
Mm-hmm.
And if we're not going by their actual age, at least Mei looks like a woman. Sarah still looks like a little girl, which is kind of weird considering she's technically older than May.
I still think she looks a little bit. Some of the
She
stuff
looks older than she did.
Yeah,
she does look older than she did, but she doesn't look like a 16-year-old girl. She still looks a little bit younger. But May looks like she's in her 20s, you know, but she's technically younger than Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. Divers are weird. Do they get to pick what they look like, or are they just taking over the images of ancients without knowing it? God, we better get that. We better get that story somehow. If they leave that fucking dangling, I'm going to be so pissed.
How many episodes do we have after this?
This one episode next. That's it. One episode to wrap up everything.
Unless they decide to do a third.
Ugh, that's a fair point, Androius. Cosme and Maya's relationship reminds you of Mark Wahlberg kissing the ape girl in Planet of the Apes. Yeah, that's true. It's a little weird. It's a little weird. Divers are like 2.5. Well, some of them are. Like Sarah is the oldest one so far. Other ones, there were some that did exist then, in theory. But as far as we know, maybe Eve was the only other one there. She was the oldest at the time. She basically alluded to that. May isn't very old. We've kind of covered that. Yeah. So moving on. They have to have this important conversation.
Yeah.
Fine. Right.
Yeah, so Riku looks nervous. May says she figured that they would want to talk. They kind of stare at each other for a moment. Hiruto clenches his fist in his jaw, like he's about ready to punch him or something. And then the two apologize at the exact same time.
Yes, go in to say. Oh, prior to that, though. Prior to that happening. It's this.
Mm-hmm. Ah, yes.
Because once again, amazing camera work telling a story. Because at one point in time, Hiruto was the thing that would stand between these two. Mm-hmm. So they literally frame him between them in this scene. But come on. Come on. That's good cinematography.
Or it's also the idea like they are like compressing him. They're
compressing him.
Yeah.
I saw it as more like the last time these guys were together, he was the thing that could have stopped them from being together. So they literally.
But you can also interpret it as like they are sort of like an oppressive force on him, his mind, and stuff like that. Because remember, there was the whole thing where it's like Riku was able to save Sarah. Hiruto couldn't do the same thing for Eve.
Yeah,
and that was the source of his discomfort, his angst against Riku and the Bill Divers and Ian in general. Which,
if this had happened earlier in the series, we definitely would have seen him be angry here, not unsure of himself.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he is right now. Because he's also been called up here for a reason he doesn't know, and these two people he's scared to talk to are here.
Right.
And then we get the dual apology, which was cool. Also, do the Divers get to choose their style at all? Because like May has like definitely more of a fighter outfit, where Sarah's just trying to be pretty. Same thing, Eve. Like, was there ever a in GBN pretty version of May, or does she just go function over form?
Don't know.
You know she dresses pretty because Mama made her a dress in the real world. Which, how do we still not have a kid for that?
Probably because they're trying to figure out how they would do that.
Same way they do. Well, I mean, it's not super different from the China guy, which, you know, kind of had a frilly skirt and frills and a thing. So, I mean, they could make it happen. It would just be all solid. There'd be, you know, it'd be layers. It wouldn't be meant to do much. Which, by the way, I've had to force myself to not buy the May statue. It's affordable. And I just have to keep telling myself to not buy it because I don't want to be a weirdo. I feel like I'll be a weirdo if I buy that. Less angst, definitely more grudge. Yeah, there was definitely a grudge. Well, Rise chose to become a core Gundam in the manga. Okay.
Anyway, so
I feel like I need to see that Rise Gundam. They shake hands. They talk and then they shake hands.
Yeah, they look at each other in surprise. Riku explains that May filled them in about Eve. Sarah says that Eve must have felt her presence and absorbed the bug so Sarah could survive a little longer. Which Riku adds that when he saves her, he had no idea that someone's sacrifice must have made that possible.
Yeah. You got to think if Riku had that guilt. Like, so Hiruto got to carry all the guilt of the situation. Nobody else knew. Not a single person. But imagine if Riku had any idea that there were other Eldivers who had to die so that he could save Sarah.
Yeah, it would have, particularly at that point, that's something like that probably would have destroyed him.
Yeah, especially being a little kid, he really wouldn't have been able to handle it. Now, maybe. He wouldn't have been able to make a decision. If he knew that, but then again, Eve died before Sarah had to be saved, so that's the thing. But like Sarah was unaware of what was going on. I think at that point it was legitimately just Sarah and just Eve. There were no other Eldivers because they would have been deleted in the reset. So all of the rest of the 83 or whatever, or 87 Eldivers have popped up after the redesign, including May, which is why I said May is younger than Sarah. Literally on a technical level, she's younger.
So Hiruto struggles with his feelings for a moment and says that Riku doesn't need to apologize, and that if anything, he should be thanking them. He says that Eve wishes for Sarah to live on and for the world to continue where both of you could live happily, and he says that her wishes came true. Yeah,
it's like by saving Sarah, that wish came true. And 88 in total. I don't think it's 88. Well, I guess if you're counting manga, there's 88. I've read that. It's weird the manga can be canon and not at the same time.
So Sarah and Riku are taken aback by this.
Yeah.
Riku thinks
nobody has had the experience that Hiruto had with an Eldiver. Well, I mean, if we somehow got side stories with all of the Eldivers and anybody they met, it would be interesting. Because at some point, an Eldiver has to meet Koichi and the other guy, his name will come to me, so that they can get out. So
I think a series about the other Eldivers could be really cool.
It doesn't even have to be a full series. It can be a short mini-series where we see a little bit about them, But I still want to know how they're connected to the Ancients. They damn well better go there.
So Riku thanks him back, and the two shake hands.
Oh, I forgot I had that shot. There you go. Nice handshake.
He wishes them good luck on the battle. And then we sort of pan up on the stars, and then we go from that to panning down to Hinata and Hiruto's apartment, where apparently they are like right next door to each other.
And we've talked about this before. We're like, we know they have to live nearby. It's never been addressed. They literally live next door.
Yeah.
Like, no wonder they grew up together and their families are so intertwined. They're on the other side of the wall. Also, I managed to get the shot that had 0 credits rolling by. Because this was happening during the closing credits.
Yeah, Twinkle started playing.
Twinkle Star. Not gonna lie, I'm not really a big fan of that song. I hate that it gets stuck in my head.
So Hinata is saying that their preparations must have gone well. And he says, yeah, they'll be leaving tomorrow. And so she says she'll do her best for tomorrow. Hiruto and Riku being... It's been a long time since I've watched Seed Destiny, so...
Well, at the very end of Seed Destiny, Kira meets Shin, and Shin cries because he's a pussy. Personally, Shin should have died. Oh, okay. So here we go. Is Hirohina or Merito the better ship?
Yes.
I don't think that Hinata and Hiruto have much of a romantic relationship. I think it's a very supportive, like sister-like thing. I think May is a better choice for him romantically, technically.
Yeah, truth be told, I think I like the idea of Hiruto and Hinata together, but I think I'd lean more towards Hiruto and Mei.
Yeah. And Valorant, it's Meirito. Get it right.
Meirito?
It's not Hiro Mei. That doesn't sound right. It's Meirito. Sounds better. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it said they live next door, or they live nearby in the same apartment complex. I never seen that they showed that they lived literally next door. Like they've talked outside in the hallway.
Yeah.
Or she's knocked on the door, but I don't think I ever saw that they live next door. But people keep pointing out shit from season 1 that we never caught. So,
or forgotten about, yeah.
Yeah. And then Carlos says he wants a prequel set on, or just any series set specifically on Eldora. So, because we know he really likes the new people.
That could be cool.
Yeah.
So, she says she'll do her best for tomorrow, that the bow ritual is held to pray for the sea's safety in the year ahead, and that she's going to sneak a little prayer in for them as well.
Yep. Digital waifu for digital laifu. He could see her in real life and in GBN, and they have similar hobbies. And if it needs to get weird, they can go to Eldora, because where they both exist in reality. I mean, it would be weird if they lived together in real life, because she would just have a tiny house on the desk. And I don't think we've ever covered if Eldivers sleep. Oh, no, we saw Sarah.
No, we have. Sarah sleeps.
Sarah sleep when she was tired. But in this one, we've never seen Mei sleep. Which
we have not seen Mei sleep, but we do know that Sarah sleeps, because there was the people, because I remember them specifically seeing her curled up on the couch at the nest, and they were like, "Oh, she's asleep." Do you think she's like asleep at the console, or?
Yeah. Don't do that, Victor. He said there's a party ship as well. Freddie and Parr. I don't know if we want that. I'm going to be honest. Hiro Mei should make sand babies in Eldora. Sand babies.
That sounds wrong.
I don't know. It's like, what is the extent of the incarnation system? Because they installed it for when they wanted to come back to their planet to live.
We know that Hiruto bleeds when he gets hit in the head really hard.
And we know they can eat real food, which means they actually digest real food. Although we've never had to see them use the bathroom.
Eldora.
I don't know. Their Gundam cockpits have bathrooms in them. GBN. They could not possibly program that, because people would be doing their business by accident in real life. Program that into the game. You'd have somebody legitimately messing their diver spot, kicked out of their G cafes. Sand babies. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Anyway,
also not sure if racist.
Yeah, I was about to say that. That's why I said that sounds really bad. That sounds.
Mei must love to have a real body, but she can't tell the difference. That's the weird part, Bob Chen.
And she specifically said, like, Eldora, GBN, real world. It's all reality to her.
She doesn't even realize she has actual organs. Actually, that would be the weird part.
Is that real air you're breathing? Yes.
Yes, I don't understand. I don't breathe in any of the other worlds I come out in. This one I have to. What the hell is going on? That means breathing is programmed into her body on Eldora, and she doesn't even think about it. She doesn't need to breathe in her plastic body with her holographic face.
Anyway,
what
was that?
When the Eldivers log into GBN, does their face disappear and they just become their Gunpla bodies? Because we've discussed they have to have a holographic face. It's the only way it can move. And be whatever. It's weird, okay? Let's just be honest.
Oh, totally.
In GBN, Eldivers make total sense. On Eldora, Eldivers totally make sense. In the actual world, it's freaking weird. They're actual living tiny plastic people that have to function by the rules of a video game, technically speaking. Wait, how do they continue to move without being on a platform? Like in
I think they didn't spell it out, but I think it's implied that they're using stuff from the Gunpla Dual system or whatever it's called.
Yeah, GBD or what GPD, whatever it's called. But that only works when they're on the platform, just like
I think it's like it's internalized or something somehow.
I mean, maybe. I want to know, damn it. Go more into the science. How does it move without being on the platform?
Because this was in Build Fighters. We saw in Build Fighters, we saw Sai's dad use a perfect Gundam. Also, Haro eats. So never mind. Yeah.
I'm not talking about the fact that Haro has a digestive system.
But we saw in Build Fighters, we saw Iori's dad use a perfect Gundam out in the real world to fly into a building, fly into a room through an open window and unlock a door when he was investigating the Gunpla Mafia.
I'm going to have to go back and rewatch that because I don't remember seeing that.
I remember seeing that and going, wait, how is that happening? My only rationale was like, because it's a big, bulky Gundam, it must have the Gean particles built into it or something.
Well, in theory, with that, you could put in a Plavsky crystal, in theory.
Oh, Plavsky, yeah.
In theory, that would work, sort of. But you would have to have it programmed with the emitters that make it function. Just having the crystal wouldn't. Okay, if we're going to get into it real quick, the Scramble Gundam only functioned because it had a new Plavsky, or it had a Plavsky part or Plavsky crystal 2 in it. It had the crystal inside it, and then it was responding to Reggie's daughter's thoughts and feelings, and that's how it was doing what it needed to do. So yes, having a Plavsky crystal installed in your Gunpla can technically make it move on its own, but it's actually creating a field around itself.
Mm-hmm.
So in theory, if you have the similar technology with the L-Diver bodies, I forgot what they're called, the dolls.
Dolls.
If you had that technology, which somehow went from proprietary to these two dudes can make it happen in their living room, sure, I get that. But I just had the thought, I was like, wait, how are they moving around without that technology? That's from the Jim's Counterattack Special. Oh, it was from the Jim movie, so to speak.
Yep.
Special briefcases that act as portable Plavsky fields. There you go. That's what it was.
I do remember he pulled the perfect Gundam out of a briefcase. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I remember them using the Mafia using them. Also, that didn't make sense how they were able to use a Gunpla here, but there.
Don't think about it too much, particularly because
we saw what happened when they left the field. They would just die. So they would have to have something to carry the field in them to continue on.
Mm-hmm.
And this one uses some, not particles, but some other type of film or whatever to coat the Gunpla and move it, if I remember correctly when we saw that before. So, sure. That's all I'm going to say. Sure. It's a thing that happens.
Okay.
I like the science of it. I just really wanted to know the details. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. They have a cool conversation. Prayers, Gunpla, arrows, metal.
She said something about like she wondered if it was okay that her role was so tiny, but today she decided it would be just fine. He thanks her for her support. That he believes in the power of people's feelings and wishes, so he thinks he'll be stronger with her praying for them.
Yes.
He then adds that he'll be cheering for her too.
Sorry, he just said a thing. I'm not acknowledging it.
Which thing?
Don't worry about it. I said Hida, not Hina.
Yeah.
Either way, we end this on Alice.
Yes.
Favorite villain of all time.
Glaring at a screen.
Just my favorite villain of all time. Just kidding. So we get this screen, which is cool. So on the right over here, for those who can see the pictures, this is literally unchanged. So despite the fact that repairs have been going on and all this stuff, all of this says the same thing. However, this has new things for me to translate. I'm so happy.
You're so happy about this?
So happy. I was like, literally, I paused the video, put it up on my TV so I could translate it. And actually, I didn't remember what letters were. Like going off of what I knew the other side of the screen was, that I had to translate because I couldn't remember what half the letters were. So let's just bring up the translation for this screen because you guys know I have to do it. There we go. Oh, up in the top corner up here, it says Planet Eldora. I should have recognized that. I'd actually translated that before. And then it says Surface. Cool. Then we got Animalizing. Okay, it says Analyzing. I just wanted to make the joke. Down here it says Adjusting, which gave me the letter J. So due to having that letter finally, I now have the complete Eldoran alphabet.
Yeah, you said W was the only one that you were... No, Q was the other one that you're missing, but now you can basically through process of elimination have identified it.
Yes. And yes, the Eldiver bodies are technically probably plastic. They're made of Gunpla bodies. Anyways, so moving on. I don't know why I could have just looked at it. And then also it says coordinate data. It either says coordinate data or coordinate data. I don't know how that means. So he's scanning the planet to figure shit out. Though I don't know if he's looking for the build divers or what. Because in theory, the bases, or I'm sorry, the temples might be a blind spot for him, so you have to scan and look. But also the divers haven't been back in like a day or two, so he's probably like, okay.
Bored now.
Waiting on my giant cannon to fix. I've still got 230 hours to go. Could you imagine? You're just like, okay, I've got this giant army, no one to kill. Big ass gun doesn't work. And these weird other people keep coming here to kick my ass, and I don't understand how.
And all the puppy people have hidden themselves in a place that I can't squish them in yet.
Yes. Squish. That's the word. Sorry, I was reading the chat. And from there, we just roll into the preview for next time.
Right.
We see Cosme having a conversation with Maya. Hopefully it's the I love you, we should be together conversation, or it's the I'm not from this planet, I don't know if this will ever work conversation, which is kind of sad. But then they kiss anyways and just move on. It's the only ship that I really want to see sail. Because they've been building that for 2 seasons. Everybody else's ship is sort of surface level. Like May and Hiruto are just barely burgeoning, if anything. Oh, that's a fair point, Jerry. Haven't seen the puppy people around in a while. Guess my job is done. How stupid would that be? You literally like got into the temple,
ready to push the button for Hisatsu attack, and Alice is turned off. And they're like, "Oh, okay then."
Where did they go? So yeah. And for anybody wondering, I'm sorry, on the translation, the stuff that's happening below the solid letters just keeps changing. So it's just random numbers and letters. There's nothing to actually pull there. Would their babies look like Par? Damn it, they're still talking like that. Oh, that's a fair point. What would Cosme and Maya's babies look like? I don't know, because we don't have weird hybrid people except for Par, technically speaking. So yes, they would probably look like Par, but with skinny tails. They wouldn't have the poofy tails. But seemingly the poofy or slim tails possibly are depending on gender. Because Freddy has big floofy tail. His dad, we actually don't know what his dad's tail looked like. Jed had a big floofy tail, but Maya has a skinny tail. Do you think she shaves her tail to be skinny? Oh my god, is that a weird thing that they do? Like, are they worried about that? They're puppy people. We've seen that her family has fluffy tails. She doesn't. Does she groom it to look that way? Like a woman would shave her legs or get a haircut.
Or is it something that she's sensitive about? And it's like she wants a floofy tail, but she can't grow a floofy tail.
We've seen the images, Jerry, of the species swapped people. I can't agree with them, to be totally honest. It's well done. I'll say that the artwork is well done, but it's too creepy. I can't deal with it. I really can't. She also looks like a cat. Well, I mean, Freddy looks somewhere between a cat and a dog. Maya looks more cat-like, but I think that's mostly due to her tail. She had a big floofy. I mean, cats can have a big floofy tail too. I mean, I'm not crazy, right? Cats can have big floofy tail.
Yeah, I've had a cat with a floofy tail.
Thank you. I thought nobody was answering me. There's only one of you. There's only one of you, and you weren't answering me.
I thought it was more of a rhetorical question.
Maybe she's
Because
adopted.
I was like, yeah, of course cats can have floofy tails.
I mean, yeah. I think she. God, it'd be so weird if she's literally grooming her tail to look like that. She doesn't like the big floofy tail in her family, so she trims it down. Oh my god, did I just stumble upon some weird Eldora Society crap? This is what happens when I drink on these streams. I come up with some weird shit. Dude, we have had consistently 35-ish people for the last hour and a half.
Nice.
We've never carried numbers like this. Next week,
So
we're going to
start wrapping things up, I think.
Yeah, we're wrapping. Anyways, we cut to the next scene, which is everybody outside of the temple, including Shido. So Shido has come along. Somehow. We're just going to say, yes, he did. Because there's only the 4 chairs. Sure, he can come in. I don't care. Unless you count the one Kudorn's always standing on, which I assume can also operate. And I assume he's going to dive with them, like at the G Cafe. If they were smart, they would all go in the same spot, so they could have keep their people together and keep them safe. But in theory, he's the only one we haven't seen dive normally. He's only just been in coma.
Mm-hmm.
You slip into Eldora when he sleeps now? Does he sleep now? Like, because he's like, I've been in a coma for 6 months. I really don't want to take a nap now. I don't know what's going to happen. Oh, dude, imagine if he had the ability to just slip into GBN now in his sleep. Like, he's so stuck. His
That'd
brain
be
is...
interesting.
Also, we're still not going into the weird logistics of how his brain and body were still connected, even after being removed and deleted.
Jabro dirt.
Unless his bed was Jabro dirt. Although I guess if he was in just GBN, it would just be normal. He would just log out, right? But because his body is in a real body across the galaxy, I don't know. Some of these sciences. Did they prepare this time for communication interference like the last fight? I have no idea. Freddy looks like a dog and a cat. Maybe Jet and Maya aren't actually his siblings. No, they actually really do address them being siblings. Either way. But yeah, I think it's cool that we get all of our diver teams, so to speak, together. I'm sure Kudorn is happy as shit that Cheeto's back in normal form. Yeah. We get to see the Tertium going at it. I hope he brings his upgrade parts so that we can have a reason to have that kit. I hate buying a kit that was never on screen. It bothers me. Build Divers has their 5th member. Yes, our Sentai team is complete.
Yes.
Our Silver Ranger. We got our Silver Ranger. So then we move on to whatever the hell Hiruto's doing here. Now, I know that's basically the Voiture Lumiere system that the Stargazer has, which once again is a propulsion system that works very slowly by catching solar winds and particles. Why is he doing this in the atmosphere of Eldora? Unless it's like, it can't be a shield because we know he makes it to space. So what is he doing? I don't know. Like, we know it's a Stargazer-based system, but we also know he has to get everyone to space.
And what's also weird is later in the preview, I don't know if you have a shot.
We got other things.
Because we get a close-up of him in that.
Yeah.
The next shot shows him flying around in space. He's in the Jupiter now.
Yeah. Because that's what he rehearsed in, which means in space, that's what he's planning on using. So the I'm drawing a blank here. Neptate. Tate. It's the Tate armor. Is only to get them to space. It has no other options.
Which seems weird.
Now, I gotta wonder, if the big dumb idea is to use him like the not balloon. So he flies up as high as he can, activates the Voiture Lumiere, and then they put floaty stuff into it, and they drag the rest of the Gunpla to space that way. Big dumb idea is literally to make a kite to get them to space.
A giant Gunpla kite.
I mean, it's not a shield, though, because that's not what it does. So, Freddy is Alpha 5. Yes, Freddy is Alpha 5, and Kuadorn is Zordon. That's
Freddy
funny.
also escaped. Recruit a team of Gunpla builders with attitude.
Oh, we're not talking about how stupid the Voiture Lumiere system was applied to Destiny. The Wings of Light literally did nothing. The Wings of Light are so stupid. They have no effect on the Destiny. But it's strange because, okay, let's go back to the actual image. On the wrong screen. Give me a second. I want to see, like, is there a way that he's, like, going to carry them along? Like, into space? Like, I don't get it. Like, I want to know. I was like, I understand how the system works. It's solar sail.
It's possible that this is also out of order.
That's true, but like a lot of people thinking this is a shield, but this is nowhere near big enough to cover the planet. This is only big enough to maybe cover the continent.
Unless this is when he starts deploying it or something like that. And
I'm saying he's literally high enough, but you can tell by the curvature, it's not going to cover the planet. It doesn't even match the horizon line. If it matched the horizon line, I could see it covering the planet. But knowing that he leaves it and goes into the Jupitive, like, why is this only to get them to space and nothing else? Because we know that their whole fight plan is based off of what they just did, and this armor was not involved. So all we need is the ability to get them to space. I was hoping for Stargate tech. Obviously, that's not going to happen. I think silly kite is what's going to happen, or balloon, or lantern, so to speak, to carry them to space. I don't know how they're going to pull that off, like what they're going to push into it to make him go up, because he has to have enough force to escape gravity, and that thing ain't going to get you there. It's an exhaust system on the Destiny. It's also on the 00 Sky and the Sky Mobius. Yes, but it's also combined with GN particles, which makes it a whole different ball game on the Mobius or 00 Sky. Because GN particles do something. The Destiny, it's just exhaust. It's pretty colorful exhaust. And it's not even for thrust. That's the stupid thing. They make it look like it's for thrust. It's not. It's a peacock. It's to show. You know, Stargazer is the only one that actually uses it the way it's supposed to be used. It's really weird, but that's what it's for. It's a giant energy sail to catch particles that are going that way. So if you have a giant particle release into it from below with enough force, in theory, you could push it out of orbit. And if you happen to tag the other Gunpla along with you, fine. Because I think the Jupitive would be fine to get into space on its own. But they need a way to get everybody into space.
right.
Without having giant thrusters on everybody, which I don't know why they didn't bother doing that. Could literally just put like the unicorn has, the full armor unicorn. Just strap some big ass thrusters.
Giant thruster fuel tank things.
Yeah. They load sand into a bunch of Haros and then get into space. About Mount Milog, he throws out the Haros. Yeah, you're basically saying Pokemon balls. They're like, I said that last time. I was like, why couldn't they just use like Haro Pokeballs? But if they're not near the sand, they can't do that. We've seen that their Gunpla only exist there. Like when they swapped in and out, it's only been there. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense too, Beanuts. Yeah, they need to conserve fuel. That's why you big ass fuel tanks and fuel and push your ass into space like a big old thruster or like, I don't know, a spaceship. I get size would be an issue. But now they have to get an extra Gunpla they didn't account for as well. Because the the other one has to go too.
All their plans ruined.
Well, yeah, because he said
Yeah.
it would have been nice if he said, "Hey, I'm coming along." I mean, I'm interested to see what they do. I think it's going to be weird because he also has to get the Jupiter armor into space. Oh, maybe he tows them with the Jupiter armor. I don't know. It's going to be weird science. And yeah, I couldn't get everybody in the shot here, but it does show everybody going into battle. We do see the dubious arch in a different frame here. Interesting. And then we get Hinata actually at her ceremony. So you're right. They're going to have that arrow being sent. You know, this is our thing at the end of the ceremony. Cordorn can carry one of them. Oh, that's true. Cordorn can carry somebody into space. He just couldn't carry everybody. Whoop-de-doo.
He said he could carry like one person.
Oh, what if Cordorn blows a bunch of energy up at the...
Oh, maybe that's what's going on.
Mr. Storm Dragon can probably throw a fuck ton of power at it, you know, without costing them anything. Makes sense.
How that gets everybody else up to space, though, we don't know.
Anywhere they took the sand, they would only be able to summon their Gunpla from where they have a console for Freddy to use. Yes. That's a fair point, Peanuts. So you have to have the console in the thing to technically use it. Summoning them in space would not work unless they... The only way I could see that would work is if they got to the moon and used whatever Alice has as an incarnation system. Because you clearly have to have something to that effect to create all the Gunpla he does. Cordorn carries Shido. Yes, that makes sense. Wings on the Destiny are to distract him from the fact he's an orphan. Jerry definitely drinking tonight. Someone eats the shining sand, it can die by having someone being formed inside. We're not going with the Thanos and Ant-Man theory. I don't know if you'd want to eat the shining sand. I mean, does it just become part of you because the rest of you is made out of it?
I don't know.
But nothing says they can't build an incarnation system in the Gunpla. Yes, let's just replicate technology that even the giant dragon who was here when it was made has no clue how to work it. No, I don't think that's going to happen. Wait, oh, hold on.
You need to wrap things up, dude. It's time for me to
I know. People are asking questions. Since when does Hinata have long hair? It's called extensions, buddy. She has a very long... Yeah, it's extensions. It's just for the ceremony. Yeah, it's part of the costume. Relevant to the plot of Eldora. Good writing on the analysis. Either way. All right, guys. So it's go time. Thanks for hanging out. I'm glad we had so many people in the stream. If you are new here, hit the subscribe thing. Come back next week as we do the finale. Hopefully, in theory. Actually, I hope it's not the finale. I hope they set up for sequels. And I hope they have 26 minutes to wrap this show up. All of the plot threads. There's going to be so much dangling. It's like, what do we do about Alice? Who's not making it back? Because they keep throwing up death flags. You better come back. You better come back. Who's not coming back? And then what is the final technique that's going to blow up the moon? Or at least the giant cannon, because that's really what we need. We don't need to blow up the whole moon, because that would probably screw up the tides. And where's Mr. Eye Patch Face? Why hasn't he come around since they talked about him? And will Muran forgive Shido? All this and more on this week's episode of Gunpla Build Divers ReRISE. I said Gunpla Build, right? I don't care. I'm drunk. Shut up. Lantern Fast. That's it. Yeah. Will they be able to resurrect everybody who died with the incarnation system like they teased way back when in season 1? No, not in this episode.
I hope not. No, because that would cheapen.
No, because they need to stay dead, or else it cheapens the series. But bye, guys. Thanks for watching. Nice. Remember, as always, keep on nerding, to keep on building, and let's keep building this shelf space together.
And I'll see you the next time you invade my shelf space.
No, that's the combined outro. No, same Gundam time, same Gundam channel. Technically, yes.